Welcome to the Hartford Showcase of High School Sports on Hartford TV. I'm Don Morrison, my partner Larry Dukes. Larry, we're at Magnolia Middle School. Always look forward to this. It's so much fun. This is the boys' finals. Should be the Yuckback finals. 4 Cecil County teams are not here, so we have all 10 Hartford County Public Schools. It should be fun tonight.
Yeah, we should see some really solid swimming here this evening and have a lot of fun with this meet.
Yeah, last night they had the girls' finals, and Edgewell, I should say, Falston won that. They won it sort of in a narrow margin. They won. They had like 321 points in the girls' final. C. Milton 302.5. Patterson Mill 295. The great thing about tonight is there's not a favorite like C. Milton Wright. It used to be almost every year at C. Milton Wright and then everybody else. Tonight, Patterson Mill, Bel Air, Hartford Tech. They three are the favored boys teams, and we could have a situation, Larry, where, and you're seeing some of the fans here tonight, so happy to see them. We're finally getting some fans in the stands, which is neat. But we could have a situation where we might have a boys winner, a girls winner, and a separate overall winner.
Yeah, it hasn't happened much, but it did happen a couple years ago, and it's anybody's meet tonight. Who's going to step up and really pull off the swims they need in order to get the points? And like you said, it could be anywhere, any one of 3 different teams, and we could have a third team that wins the overall. So really looking forward to this.
You mentioned that 1919-20, which is the last year we had swimming, because last year in the 2021 season we were all shut down because of COVID. Bel Air won the girls, Patterson Mill won the boys, C. Milton Wright won the overall. So we could have that same exact situation tonight. Should be great fun.
Yeah, and we'll give our listening audience, our viewing audience, some of the results from last night as we mix them in with the results of tonight. So have a pretty full broadcast worth of information for those tuning in for this great swim championship.
It's going to be great fun at Magnolia Middle. One difference tonight, they're not going to be leaping off the actual blocks because there's a situation that they had a block problem, and so they made the decision not to. Here is our national anthem as we honor our country.
Well, that was an
excellent job.
It was a great instrumental rendition.
I'm going to get the name of that young man. I should have done that before we started, and maybe someone on the deck can help me get that name. But great job. Great way to start this. Larry, we were talking about the absence of the blocks. There was a situation at Edgewood Middle School earlier in the year, so they decided not to use the blocks at all. What difference does that make for swimmers who are diving off a block rather than what they're going to do tonight is just jumping off the edge of the pool deck?
Yeah, it makes a big difference. You lose a considerable amount of momentum going into the pool when you're not using your legs to explode off the blocks. They can do the similar from the side of the pool, but it certainly doesn't give them that 18 inches of added height to really spring out far. Long, strong dives will slow down the overall starts.
Yeah, and our first event, we are going to have 11 events tonight. Our first event is the 200-yard medley relay. Larry, talk about what that involves.
Yeah, we'll see swimmers in the pool to begin in the backstroke, breast, fly, and free in that order. And the swimmers in 50 yards of each stroke, combining, and they're going to really be looking for the exchanges. When the swimmers in the pool touch, the next swimmer should be only with a toe left on the platform and in the pool, and we'll see how they handle those transitions.
2 heats tonight in this particular event, the 200-yard medley relay. Havre de Grace will be in lane 2, lane 3, North Harford. That's the top qualifying team in this particular heat. Aberdeen in lane 4. Justin Fries, Zephaniah Madison, Michael Malaya, and Marshall Sherman. They're the swimmers for Havre de Grace. North Harford, Griffin Hevesy, Kyle DiFilippo, Nick Spigler, and James Cassidy, the swimmers for North Harford. Aberdeen, it's Michael Pomales, Colin Moses, Ethan Ryan, and Alex Newen. They're the swimmers for Aberdeen. Again, the first swimmers, as you mentioned, will be in the pool, starting with the backstroke, which to me is always the most difficult looking stroke. Maybe the butterfly is the one that's kind of a little weird looking as a non-swimmer, but backstroke is one that takes a lot of ability.
Yeah, and obviously they're not able to see anything but the ceiling. So at the point that they start the race, they do have backstroke flags that will give them a sense of distance from the wall. It'll also let them know the number of strokes that they'll take before they'll flip to their belly for the turn, and the number of strokes they have to the wall before they touch for the finish.
There we look at the record established of 1 minute 40.3, that established by Seabolt and Wright, and that occurred in 2018, fairly recently. Our top team, Patterson Mill High School, at 1:47.06. Add to that the fact that we don't have the use of the blocks. We don't think the record is going to be threatened, but it'll be just interesting to see the points that are accumulated. Talk about that if you would. You accumulate points in each of these events, and so it's not only the winner of the event, but it's the points you accumulate.
Exactly, and in a championship meet, the points are scored down for a number of the positions. Therefore, your finish is really important. Even if you don't win the event, to finish moving up, we say from our seed time. You just gave the seeds as we had them for the first heat. Even if you're in the first heat and not in the fast heat, the second heat of this event, you still want to improve your position on how you're seeded to score more points.
I like that. I don't know what that display is all about there. Maybe it's the swimmers that when they were a bit younger, perhaps. But
yeah,
like
some of them I coached. Some faces there that I remember when they
were
recognize
kids.
Them? No, I'm afraid I don't. But probably when they started in swim lessons, those photos.
It's so much fun. Swimmers have a camaraderie among each other. I know other sports do as well, but I've noticed being around swimmers, they really root for each other, and even teams that are the opposing teams tend to support each other because they realize how difficult it is.
Yeah, it's a grueling sport. And it's one that you literally have to do every day. It's hard, and the discipline. You typically see swimmers that do very well academically. They do well in their preparation for future lives, and many of the swimmers that we were looking at the records a little bit earlier, still see these kids, now adults in the community, doing great things.
We're just about ready for the first heat, and again, they're seeded by their top times during the year. The first heat is the slower of the 2 heats in this particular case. As we said, we have 3 teams competing in this particular race: Havre de Grace, North Harford, Aberdeen. North Harford in the fastest lane, lane 3. Havre de Grace in lane 2, Aberdeen in lane 4. 4 events: the back, the breast, the fly, and the free. As Larry said, you'll notice the backstroke starting out. Justin Fries, Griffin Hevesy, and Michael Pomales. That's Havre de Grace, North Harford, and Aberdeen. And they're underway, our first event of the night, the 200-yard medley relay.
And as you see, they'll hit the backstroke flags here, purposely put there, and then strokes and turn to the wall, and they actually turn on their belly.
So as you said, it's 1 time up and 1 time back, and then the next group dives in the pool. That'll be the breaststrokers.
Right, they'll dive over them at the touch, only needing to have a toe left on the platform when they go.
And Kyle DiFilippo, the North Harford swimmer, is first in the pool. Zephaniah Madison for Havre de Grace in the near lane, and Colin Moses in the far lane. Those are the breaststrokers.
And breaststroke, kind of the odd stroke here with almost like, looks like a frog. As the kick really is definitive in it. The stroke is both hands come out and they whip around quickly and shoot them back out again. The kick really gives them the distance per stroke. And here they touch the wall.
And that is North Harvard in the lead. Nick Spigler in the pool on the fly stroke now. And Michael Malaya is in lane 1, and Ethan Ryan is in lane 4. That's the far lane.
Butterfly, the underwaters are really important here. You'll see that they'll do that dolphin kick a long way and come to the surface. And this is a stroke that really is taxing on your shoulders if you're not using that kick and using those hips.
And there's the free. James Cassidy first in the pool from North Harvard in the middle. Marshall Sherman from Haverty Grace in the near lane, and Alex Ewan from Aberdeen in the far lane.
Yeah, shout out for James, his dad, on our crew tonight.
Yeah, Dennis Cassidy directing. Proud papa.
I would be. Look at this. Son is going away with winner of the first heat.
Yep. And again, we have to emphasize the first heat. James Cassidy could be the ultimate winner. It's the time. It's not necessarily what you do in the particular heat. So let's say that his timing is better than anybody in the faster heat, then he would be the champion.
Right. The relay team would be so North Hartford could win from the first heat. At least they want to move up. Here, they were the favorite in this heat, so hopefully their time bests someone in the next heat.
Yeah, the best time in this particular, North Harvard had 1:59.42. We're not sure how they did in comparison to the other to the overall score.
Yeah, people should know that we're kind of secluded in a different part of the building, so we're watching this on a monitor and the official results, although we'll give you the unofficial results as we see them. The official results will come up to us, and then we'll give you the real finishes for each one of the swimmers or the relay teams.
That was heat 1 of 2 heats. The second heat that we'll see, again, it is since 200-yard medley relay. C. Milton Wright in lane 1, Harper Tech in lane 2. Patterson Mill, the top ranking team in terms of seeding, will be in lane 3. Bel Air High School in lane 4. And Falston High School will be in lane 5. Only 5 lanes taken and not the total of 6. And again, you'll see the X's on the blocks, so they're not using the blocks at all tonight. Because, again, there was a safety incident that occurred at Edgewood, we understand, earlier on, and so they made the decision just to not use any of the blocks. Now, in 2 weeks, when they go to the regional competitions at the Bel Air Athletic Club, they will be using blocks. So, yes, it's an advantage for swimmers to be able to have those blocks, but everybody is faced with the same situation.
Right. As we talked earlier, it's just like a weather condition, in an outdoor sport, as everybody's playing under the same conditions.
So we're underway in the second heat. Alan Chan, he's from C. Milton Wright in the near lane. Gavin Carson, he's from Hartford Tech. Patterson Mills, Cade Snyder, Colin O'Hare from Bel Air, and Zach Olsick from Falston in the 5th lane. Jumping into the lane now on the breaststroke. It's Addison Sweat from C. Milton Wright. Luke Benarski from Hartford Tech. Jaden Harley from Patterson Mill. Grayson Michele from Bel Air, and it's Caleb Conkle from Falston in lanes 1 through 6.
We see a lot of times that breaststrokers really begin to build the separation between other swimmers in the relays, and here Patterson Mill has about a 2 body length lead.
That was Jaden Harley who gave him that lead. Ian Sauer is the swimmer, the third swimmer, the fly swimmer from Patterson Mill. He's in the middle lane, lane 3. Ryan Pham is in the first lane from C. Milton Wright. Ben Ellenbecker is in lane 2 from Hartford Tech. Matt Collins is Bel Air, and Ethan Smith from Falston. That lead is shrinking just a little bit there.
Yeah, our Bel Air swimmer is making a move and shortened that to about a body length.
And now it's the 50-yard for the free. Sean Lipscomb is the swimmer for Patterson Mill in the middle. A.J. James from Hartford Tech and Nicholas Masante from C. Milton Wright. It's Logan Weaver and Matt Schaefer in lanes 4 and 5, Bel Air and Falston respectively.
And going away at this moment, Patterson Mill.
The winner is unofficially, as Larry said, it is Patterson Mill, as the first touching is Sean Lipscomb.
Yep, then Bel Air was second. the makeup was stretched out back out again, and a really solid race there. Wait to get the official results and let folks know. But these points tonight are really important. As we said, the outcome is not known. Unlike some other times we've been together, tonight we could really see any one of 3 or 4 teams as your champion.
And Larry, we've got another feature tonight, and that is senior night. So there'll be some times where Deb Bossler is here from the Harford County School System, the Director of Physical Education and Athletics, and they're going to honor the seniors because, remember, no spectators all this year, and so they're taking this opportunity to recognize the seniors from each of the schools. So we'll have a couple of breaks in our actual meet where the seniors will be honored, and we'll get a chance to give them a little round of applause as well.
Yeah, I think this is one of those that we're coming up here between this event and this next event. Next event will be the 200-yard freestyle, and we'll be seeing that shortly. But looks like we'll get a short break here for the senior recognition. We
have 4 heats coming up in that race, coming the 200-yard freestyle coming up. Larry, give us a chance to talk a little bit about last night. We mentioned that in the girls' meet, Falston was the winner at 321 points, Seamold and Wright 302.5, and Patterson Mill at 295. Just to reiterate, what happens is you take the boys' scores tonight, you combine those with the girls' scores from last night, and then you get an overall winner. So we're surmising that perhaps we're going to have a repeat of what happened 2 years ago. That is having one girl winner, one boy winner, and then a separate overall winner. I think you have some highlights from last night.
Yeah, there's some notes. Thank you to Ray Ruse, who was helpful in compiling some stats about last night, and you know, his comments. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to be here to see the meet, but. He said that the Falston swimmers really swam well. Very solid performance to earn the championship last night on the girls' side. There were several individual winners, okay, and some of them, Kaylee Blair won the 100 free and the 500 free.
You're hearing the pool announcer talking about the seniors being awarded tonight, so we'll sort of work around her as we go.
Okay. And Kaylee Kim, winner of the 100 backstroke. Emerson Young took the 50 free. Catherine Wicke won the 200 free. Abby Schneider, the 200 IM. And Olivia Van Dyke, the 100 fly. Relays were, the 200 medley relay was won by Patterson Mill, and the 200 free relay was won by C. Milton Wright. So a lot of diversity here in the different schools that won individual events and relay events.
You're seeing some of the seniors being honored, and I'm again assuming that those pictures we see on the wall are some of the seniors when they were just a little bit younger, perhaps.
Yeah, absolutely, and then you're seeing some pictures of some of the other schools, more recent pictures. Also, you know, it's really, you said earlier about the community of swimming.
Yeah, we're going to look at, that is Miss Rosner, Sarah Rosner, who is the announcer who's announcing for us. And so we'll just listen to some of this as they're honoring the seniors. Remember last year there was no swimming at all in the country, no winter sports, so those seniors didn't get the chance to do what these seniors are being able to do this year.
but certainly not least, we have Liam Van Sickle. Liam is going to attend a four-year college and major in biomedical engineering. His favorite swim memory is chatting with other swimmers during a meet. Congratulations, seniors, and if at this time you would like to take a ceremonial leap into the pool, you are more than welcome to.
Well, Larry Dukes, that was celebrating the first group of seniors. There'll be another group.
Am I going to have to count y'all down?
Correcting myself, it's the coach of each of the teams that was announcing the seniors, and now the ceremonial. I can do that. That's sort of my style. The cannonball. I was pretty good at cannonball. So anyhow, we're mentioning how the seniors who didn't get to swim at all last year, because winter sports and fall sports were just wiped out. And so it's so good to see not only getting a chance to swim, but actually having parents and fans and friends and relatives in the stands watching them do it. So we're just thrilled that we're able to be here and to chronicle the 2021-22 boys swim meet.
Yeah, the jump into the pool is traditional. Usually they toss their coach in with them as they win the meet. But given our situation now, a ceremonial leap by the seniors, I think it's all good.
Very nice. And we talk about seniors because, again, some of these have been on the team for 4 years, not last year, of course, but have been since freshmen. And so this is the last time they'll be swimming locally, even though the regional winners do swim again at the Bel Air Athletic Club. So we're happy to be able to honor them. Do have the results of that first meet, and as expected, the way the seeding occurred, Patterson Mill's team did win. They won in a 1:45.48, about 5 seconds off the county record, but I believe they did improve their seeding. Let me see. Yeah, they entered at 1:47.06, and they swam at 1:45.48. So it was 1 Patterson Mill, 2 Bel Air, 3 Simonton Wright, 4 Falston, 5 Hartford Tech, 6 North Hartford, 7 Aberdeen, and 8 Haverty Grace. 40 points for the winning team, Patterson Mill, 34, 32, 30, 28, 26, and down the line. Right now, after one event, Patterson Mill is leading by 8 points over Milton Wright, and then by 12 points over Hartford Tech. Those are the 3 teams that were the pre-meet favorites in terms of going to compete for the championship.
And next up, we'll have event number 3 in our program, but it's the second event of the night. The way the program is, the meet is numbered is boys and girls, so the odds are the boys. So event number 3, the boys 200-yard freestyle. In heat number 1, we will have Marshall Sherman from Haverty Grace. In 2, Aiden Tramontana. 3 is Caleb Bischoff. 4 is Sasha Trellini. 5 is Scott Jones. And 6 is Noah Hamilton.
Yep, and Caleb Bischoff, the top seed in terms of this particular heat. 4 heats, this is the slower of the qualifying 4 heats, so they'll get faster as we go. 2 times up and 2 times back.
Yeah, 8 lengths of the pool. In my vernacular, different than yours, you do the ups and backs, and but whatever works, right?
Yeah, I just see them go up and go back.
Yep. Your record holder in this event, Ryan Baldino from Milton Wright a few years ago. In 2018, Ryan went 1:45.50. Don't think that's going to be overtaken today, but you never know. And we're off to a quick first swim in lane number 3. Oh, looks like you're coming to the wall here. Well,
this is a relay of some kind of.
Yeah, we're seeing something different. Maybe we have a different order?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I apologize because we have the second event was supposed to be the 200-yard freestyle, but this is a freestyle relay. It looks like the 200 free relay.
Maybe they've decided to do all relay events.
I think you're right. So what was that? Let's look. That was the.
So that would be down in event number 17, Don, the boys 200-yard freestyle relay. And if we've got this right, let me see if we got the right swimmers in the right positions in the pool. Yeah, it looks like in lane number 2 we have Edgewood, lane 3 Haverty Grace, lane 4 Aberdeen, and lane 5 Joppatown. So we got switched up a little bit this year.
I apologize for that, but yeah, they've decided to do the relay events first. So we're watching now the 200-yard freestyle relay.
I'll try to get some clarification here as you get the names of these kids.
Okay, this is heat 1. Edgewood on lane 2, Haverty Grace lane 3, Aberdeen lane 4, and Joppatown lane 5. We're getting some clarification now on why they switched it up. And Larry, indeed, we have seen this is the relay event, the 200-yard freestyle relay.
Yeah, they've decided tonight that they're doing, and maybe they even did this last night, they're doing all the relays at the start of the meet. We're going to get an update on the program. But as you just mentioned, Don, that was the first heat.
Yep, the first of 2 heats. That was, again, Haverty Grace was the team in lane 3. Lane 2 was Edgewood, 4 was Aberdeen, and 5 was Joppatown. Now we go to the faster of the 2 heats. This is the heat 2 of the boys 200-yard freestyle relay. As again, we're doing the relays first. So they're a surprise to us, but we're flexible if nothing else.
There's no doubt. And these times demand that we be flexible.
Hartford Tech is the top-rated team. They come in as the top seed with a 1:38.09 timing. They'll be in lane 3. Shane Ekman will start for them. Starting from lane 1, it'll be Folsom's Matt Schaefer, then Paul Mullins from Seamoulton Wright. In lane 4 is Bel Air's Grayson Mochley. In lane 5 is Jaden Harley, and he's from Patterson Mill. Lane 6 is Kyle DiFilippo. And so that'll be the way they'll start out here. 4 swimmers, again, my vernacular, they'll go up once and back once, right?
Correct.
And then the second swimmer will leap in, not off the blocks again. They're going to be leaping off from the padded. You'll see they've got a place to try to keep them from slipping. We're told it might be a half-second difference, perhaps, jumping off the blocks.
Yeah, it could be. It really depends. You know, if a swimmer is explosive off the start, it could be even faster than that.
That's the middle swimmer, Shane Ekman from Hartford Tech. Again, he was favored. It looks like in lane 4, also Jaden Harley from Patterson Mill.
Yeah, up in lane 5 is in second place at the moment.
Yeah. And here is Ray Owen. He is the second swimmer for Hartford Tech in the middle. Caleb Conkle, David Gian, Matt Collins, Walker Milstead, and Ben Impieri. They're the swimmers from lane 1, closest lane to lane 6.
Yeah, Hartford Tech with the lead, Patterson Mill in second.
Gavin
and now
Carson
is the wall.
That's Gavin Carson, who's diving in just about at the same time as lane 5. And that was Ian Sauer from Patterson Mill.
Yeah, now taking the lead up in lane number 5. That is Patterson Mill.
Yeah.
But these turns are all so critical. Coming off the turn, it's come back to Hartford Tech. As they approach the wall, it's going to be Hartford Tech as they touch.
Noah White is the lead, the leg swimmer, the last swimmer jumping in for Hartford Tech. He has the lead.
The anchor leg of the relay.
That's the word I was looking for. Ethan Smith in lane 1, Addison Sweat in lane 2, Zach Clark in lane 3, Mason Wendell in lane 4, Michael O'Leary in lane 6.
That looks like Hartford Tech's going to take it to the wall. And your winner, second place, is Patterson Mill.
Of course, it's all done, as we said, by timing, so we'll see what the official times are. But it looks like unofficially Hartford Tech has won the 200-yard relay, freestyle relay.
Also, as they run these relays, the officials will caucus. As you can see, the officials in the white shirts will caucus with each other to make sure they saw the swimmers leave appropriately. No one left too early. And they got a legal touch on the wall before the next person took off.
Yeah, that DQ is one that you just don't want to have happen because you lose all your points entirely.
No, in a championship meet, it can be devastating to have a relay team, especially because the points for a relay are double what they are for individual event.
Yeah.
So it's imperative that you get a good touch, not get disqualified, and make sure you get at least some points in every one of your relays.
Again, now we'll take a pause here in terms of the meet, and they'll have the second set of senior awards given out. And again, that's why they did the relays. And sorry that we didn't get that information ahead of time, but I think now are on the right page. That was the 17th, or I guess what, 9th of the 11 events.
Correct.
If you're looking at, because again, as Larry was explaining, they actually number them. The boys get the odd numbers and the girls get the even numbers. So.
Gotcha. It actually would have been the 8th.
Yeah.
8th and then.
Yeah, and then
no, 8th and 11th. Yep.
Or 9th and 11th, odd numbers.
Yep.
Yeah. That, I think we have now. Yes, they gave us the official way it was going to happen. So Larry, you can tell us about that.
Yeah, so we're now at the break after the 200-yard freestyle relay, and we'll do some more senior night recognition in just a moment as they bring them out. Then we'll move on to the 400-yard freestyle relay in our programs, event number 23.
Waiting for the seniors to come out now. And again, they had the first set of seniors being recognized, and then it'll be the second set. Remember, we have 10 teams here tonight, all 10 Harford County public schools. The 4 Cecil County schools not here tonight. They're not competing, but they have converted this now. It used to be the Harford County swim meet. Now it's the District 7 swim meet championship, which includes 4 Cecil County teams.
And according to my sheet, the boys from Bel Air, Falston, Harford Tech, and Patterson Mill will be recognized in this session.
And there you see them assembled along the edge of the pool, and their coach will come out, and they're getting balloons and all the, you know, if you had kids who have swam or have played some kind of a sport, you know how important senior night is.
Yeah.
It's a night they will remember the rest of their lives.
And for most of these, some of the swimmers will move on and swim at the next meet, the next championship meet. Some will go on and swim in college, but for the majority of them, this abruptly ends their swimming career. So it's nice to.
And now we're going to have the seniors honored. Here they are.
He is going to pursue a degree in the medical field, and his favorite memory is the social dynamics.
We'll be recognizing Falston seniors next. First up, we have Sasha Trellini. After graduation, Sasha plans to attend a 4-year university in his home country of Italy and pursue a degree in cinematography. His favorite memory on the team is meeting new people and hanging out at team dinners. Next up, we have Elijah Greer. Elijah will be attending Harvard Community College in the fall, and his favorite memory is freshman year season. Finally, we have Matt Schaefer. Matt will be attending Harvard Community College in the fall, and his favorite memory on the team is hanging out with the team before practice in Chatterton's room. Thank you, Boston.
We're going to be celebrating our Harvard Tech seniors next. Our first senior is Luke Bednarski. Luke will be pursuing a career in welding, and his favorite swim memory is all of the team dinners. team had to hang out at Harvard Tech for an extra 2 hours in the morning because we have morning practice at HCC. Our next senior is Owen Ray. Owen is entering the wonderful world of work in the automotive industry. And his favorite swim memory is finishing a 200 relay and realizing we made it first in the county. Our last senior is Jeff Sipa. Jeff is going to be attending college to work on an electrical career, and his favorite swim memory is developing strong supportive bonds with teammates. Thank you so much, seniors. Next, we have Patterson male seniors. And now, as you can see, if you ever want to build your team, you just get a group of friends that play soccer together, and they try out a new sport, and there you go. These guys have all been friends since freshman year. So we start off with Jaden Harley. Jaden plans on attending Halton College, majoring in computer science, and his favorite memory is playing Uno on the bus ride to States in his sophomore year, and just bus rides in general. Our next senior is Sean Lipscomb. Sean plans on majoring in aerospace engineering at West Virginia University, and his favorite memory is going out to eat with the team. Our next senior is Jack McNerney. Jack also plans on attending a four-year university, and his favorite memory is winning the sportsmanship award as a team at both states in 2018 and 2020. Our next senior is Ian Sauer. Ian will be attending Drexel University and majoring in animation and visual effects. His favorite team memory is watching Coach Boomer cartwheel under the pool after the season on right knee. Our next senior is Sam Shevlin. Sam plans on attending Bryant University and majoring in computer science. His favorite memory is riding the bus, all the bus rides, and hanging out, playing water polo at practice. Our next senior is Evan Schultz. Evan will be attending a four-year university and majoring in computer science also. His favorite memories are playing water polo with the team during our team fun days, which we have a lot. Jaden Stanfield is our next senior. Jaden plans on attending a four-year university and majoring in computer science. I have to back up. Evan, I'm sorry. Evan is actually going to be a mechanical engineer. I'm so sorry. Evan's parents. Evan's going to be a mechanical. Sorry, Evan. But Jaden's going to be computer science major, and his favorite memories are playing water polo on the fun days. I'm sorry. Evan, you need to stand up again. I read yours wrong. Stand up. This is Evan. Evan is going to be a mechanical engineer, and his favorite memory was going to team dinners before the meets. Sorry, Evan. Our next senior is Andrew Trent. Andrew Trent is pursuing computer science at a four-year college, and he enjoys hanging out with friends during team dinners and meets. last and definitely not least senior is Chandler Wilson. Chandler plans on studying architecture, and his favorite memory is the team dinners. Walker, I'm just letting you know, I can't read tonight, I'm sorry. Walker, I wouldn't forget you, buddy, don't you worry. Walker Milstead, our 10th senior. You know I love you, Walker, I'm sorry. Walker is going to study sports media and analytics at Virginia Tech, and his favorite memory is music-filled bus rides as well as team dinners with the entire team. Let's hear it for all of our seniors from architecture, Olsen and Bel Air. Gentlemen, take your positions.
Looks like we're going to get ready to do the plunge in the pool. Patterson Mill has a big senior class.
They do.
1. That's my job. 2, 3, congratulations!
That's pretty exciting. Well, we do have the results of that, and this is how significant it is. Hartford Tech did win that second heat, or the second event we're talking about, winning the 200-yard freestyle relay. They got those 40 points. Larry, they moved all the way from 5th place, where they were after the first event, all the way up now to 2nd place. Patterson Mill stays in 1st place, 74 points. Hartford Tech with 68 points. Bel Air's in 3rd with 66. Falston is in 4th with 60. So you can see how much could happen here as each of these events occur.
Yeah, and I really do expect some lead changes throughout the evening, and so we'll keep an eye on how each one of these events affects the total results.
Shane Ekman, Ray Owen, Gavin Carson, and Noah White, they are the swimmers in that 200-yard freestyle relay for the Hartford Tech Cobras.
So our next event will be event number 23, the boys 400-yard freestyle relay. In lane number 2 will be Edgewood. In lane 3 will be Aberdeen. 4, Havity Grace, and 5, Joppatown. This is the first of 2 heats.
Yep, it's Savvy Schuler is in lane 1 for Edgewood. Colin Moses in lane 2 for Aberdeen. Paul Davis in lane 3 for Havity Grace, and Zach Strong from Joppatown is in lane 5. The record 3:17.03 established by Patterson Mill back in 2019.
And it looks like we may only have 3 teams competing in this heat.
Yeah, it looks like
maybe Edgewood was a scratch here.
Apparently so. The lane 2 would have been Edgewood, so we get lane 3 Aberdeen, 4 Havity Grace, and 5 Joppatown.
Havity Grace with the early lead, out by just about a body length over Aberdeen in 2nd, Joppatown 3rd.
And using my format, how many times up and back do they go each one?
Cheese and crackers. 2 times your vernacular, 4 lengths for each swimmer and mine, but a total of 16 lengths of the pool for all 4 swimmers.
So it is a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah, this is the longest relay event of the meet. It is 100 for each one of the swimmers. And it is still a sprint. Each one of these swimmers is swimming 100 yards, the length of a football field.
Yeah.
Is a sprint.
That's a good point. Yeah, it is a marathon when you just consider 16 lengths of the pool, but each one is only doing 4. So, you know, that is all out for those 4 lengths of the pool.
Havity Grace extending their lead now to about 3 body lengths over Aberdeen in 2nd.
And Larry, as you said, it is again all timing. So you want to get whatever points you can get in terms of your timing. That's the points your team gets in that relay. So, and we talked about 40 points for the winning team, 34 for 2nd place, 32 for 3rd place, and down the line. So we saw the difference it made in that first to second event.
And I used to drive me crazy as a coach, coaching for over 20 years, when swimmers would be able to look over and see that they had a big lead, and they would just start to cruise into the wall, and not realizing that the opportunity to move up was right in front of them, and the time just slips away.
Yeah, and again, if you're just tuning in, and shame on you, where were you? That's okay. You'll notice that the swimmers are not diving off the pool deck. They're diving off the deck and not the blocks. And again, you see the X's on those blocks. An incident occurred at Edgewood earlier in the year, Edgewood Middle School, where they had a block that malfunctioned, and so they just eliminated the use of the blocks altogether. Something the swimmers have to get used to. It's not what they practice on and what they've grown up using. So, it does make a difference.
Yeah, the pools in each one of our locations are built very different from each other. Years ago, we had blocks at North Hartford. Then we had modified blocks at North Hartford, and then we just dove off the side of the pool. All learning along the path here that swimmers can adapt to the situations, and tonight they're adapting to what they have to in order to perform.
We didn't give you the swimmers in the second group, Vincent DeSantis from Edgewood, although we determined Edgewood's not running and they're not racing in this one. It's Jason Moses in the lane 3 from Aberdeen, Michael Malaya from Haverty Grace, and Ian Newman. Now the ones you're seeing in the pool now are Jason Pendrecka, he's in lane 3 for Aberdeen, Robert Willis in lane 4 for Haverty Grace, and lane 5 Lorenzo Howard from Joppatown. The anchor leg will be swimming by Lars Lefkowitz. He is from Aberdeen, Henry Pencil from Haverty Grace, and Justin Craig from Joppatown.
Haverty Grace still with the sizable lead. Aberdeen second, and Joppatown third.
So that is the first of the 2 heats in this boys 400-yard freestyle relay.
And after this event, we'll have the awards for the relays, 200 medley, the 200 freestyle, and the 400 freestyle relays.
So again, different than what we normally do the meets. They've done all the relays first, and then we'll get to the individuals here over the next 8 events. Heat 2, again, the faster of the 2 heats. Harper Tech will be the favored team. Luke Bedarski will be the first swimmer off for Harper Tech in the middle lane. Ray Owen, Shane Ekman, and Noah White to follow him for Harper Tech. And remember, Harper Tech can't climb from 5th place to 2nd place after the first event to the second event. Let's see if they can win the second event, if maybe they move into 1st place, which will be a possibility. Patterson Mill had the 1st place after the first event and still holds on to 1st place after the second event.
In this second heat, Patterson Mill has the fastest seed time with a 3:43.63.
Or second, I guess, 3:37.51.
You're right. Harper Tech has the fastest, 3:37.51.
Yeah, but again, they're close to the 3:43 for Patterson Mill in lane 4. Bel Air is in lane 3, or lane 2, I should say. They have 3:46.52. Falston in lane 1, 3:54.19. C. Milton Wright, 3:47.63 in the 5th lane. And in the 6th lane, 4:03.10 is North Hartford. So again, if it goes the way the pre-tournament seeding occurs, Hartford Tech, quote unquote, should win.
They're top seed. You never know, though. Yeah. And because the actual relay swimmers aren't required by the coaches to be turned in until right up until the event, they could switch them out. They could decide to redo their order. They could redo the swimmers that are participating. Sometimes you have a swimmer that becomes ill and you want to replace them. You're able to do that in the relays.
Interesting. Elijah Greer, according to the program, is number 1. He's from Falston in the 1st lane. Colin O'Hara in lane 2 from Bel Air. Luke Bedarski in lane 3 from Harper Tech. Cade Snyder from Patterson Mill in lane 4. Alan Chan in lane 5 from C. Milton. And Nick Spigler in lane 6 from North Hartford.
Early lead by Patterson Mill. Out in the first 50.
Patterson Mill in lane 4.
All bunched up for second place right now. See Milton Wright with a slight lead for second place.
The first swimmers, this will complete their leg of the 400-yard medley, 400-yard freestyle relay. Bill Kutch and the second group of swimmers, lane 1, Ian Wright from Falston, lane 2, Garrett White from Bel Air, Ray Owen is from Harper Tech in lane 3, Walker Milstead in lane 4 from Patterson Mill, it's Ryan Pham in lane 5 from C. Milton, and Ben Impieri from North Hartford is in lane 6.
Patterson Mill still your leader. C. Milton Wright second, Harper Tech third.
Again, not a little bit of an upset so far since, again, Harper Tech was the top-seeded swim group.
Also a move by Bel Air down in lane number 2, vying for third place.
And it's Garrett White making that move for Bel Air. Garrett is a sophomore. Coming up to the third leg, yep, and the first one off is Patterson Mill. That's a Mason Wendell for Patterson Mill. In lane 1 is Christian Wizuski. He's from Falston. Then comes Josh Morgan from Bel Air in lane 2. Shane Ekman in lane 3. The aforementioned Mason Wendell in lane 4. Liam Van Sickle is from C. Milton Wright in lane 5. And Evan Kuzumchek is from North Hartford. He's in lane 6.
And for a slight moment, Bel Air had moved into third, but Harper Tech has regained third place and making a move to move up to second place. So here comes folks from Harper Tech.
Harper Tech Shane Ekman, again the third of the 4 swimmers in this relay.
And Shane Ekman a favorite in a couple of our other events this evening, so it's not surprising that he's coming on strong here and going to touch in second.
Noah White is the swimmer from Harper Tech in lane 3. It's Sean Lipscomb who is in the lead now for Patterson Mill in lane 4. Caleb Conkle is in lane 1. He is from Falston. Lane 2 is Zach Clark from Bel Air. It's Nicholas Nisante from C. Milton Wright is in lane 5, and Michael O'Leary in lane 6 from North Harper.
It's a pretty large lead. It'd be very difficult for him to make that much of a gap made up here, but you never know.
Sean Lipscomb for Patterson Mill, Noah White for Harper Tech. They're the 2 lead swimmers.
Patterson Mill looking very strong here. That's Lipscomb to the wall, and your winner.
Lipscomb is the winner.
Second place, battle for second.
Close.
Gonna be, it looks like the touch out went to C. Milton Wright up in lane number 5. Hartford Tech third place. So we'll get the official results very shortly, but that would be our first kind of major upset.
Yeah, first big upset of the night. Hartford Tech, who came in as the favored team and looks like, at least unofficially, may have finished third, at least in the timing is concerned.
So
wow.
like we said earlier, you never know with especially relays. It's interesting how the timing on the takeoffs, the exchanges, and the order of the swimmers really do make a difference.
So we'll await the official results.
And so they're going to step up the top 3 finishers in each one of the relay events to be recognized on the podium.
Larry, as a former coach, does it make a difference that they did the relays first, all 3 relays?
Yeah, I would not be a big fan of doing the relays all in the beginning. While it may be good for relay swimmers that are sitting around, the last event of the night typically is the relay. So if the meet is going to come down to something, I really like to have my swimmers all jazzed up about swimming that very last event being the relay event. So it is a bit different. Again, adaptability is what it's all about in these times, and I'm sure that folks have learned how to cope with the difference in the meet. But my preference would be to I would rather swim all the relays at the end
And of course, your relay swimmers, most of them swim in the individual events as well. So, they may swim in more than one relay. So in this case, you're doubling them up back to back in some cases.
Yeah, they'll qualify for 2 individual events, 2 relay events, or 1 and 3, and they can do 1 individual event, 3 relays.
Mm-hmm.
So.
So they're going to be doing now the awards for the first 3 groups of winners, the first relay events that occurred. We're waiting to get the official results.
So we expect stepping up in first place will be Patterson Mill for the 200-yard medley relay. Second place will be Bel Air. And third place will be C. Milton Wright.
Good to see fans back in the stands, and I don't complain or criticize at all, because the school system did what it had to do, and that is to protect people. But watching these events, as we've been doing, Larry, you and I are talking about the basketball games that we did that were like buzzer beater basketball games, and the shot was made to win the game and no fans. So especially that Aberdeen Havre de Grace barn burner that occurred a couple of weeks ago. So glad we have it on tape at least, because it will be a classic in the years to come when people will be talking about that 3-point shot that won it for Havre de Grace at the buzzer.
Yeah, and the impact that it has on the players too. For folks that for the first time in their lives didn't have anybody watching them play.
Yeah.
It had to be an eerie feeling to go out there and play a competitive event with nobody there.
Almost like a scrimmage, when you think about it, but it was a real game that you had to win for the glory of your school.
Exactly, and it's hard to get jazzed up when there's nobody there to watch you play or support you. But this is what we had to do, and people adapted, and still I'm really happy that sports was still able to go on.
Especially going back to previous year where you had no fall and no winter sports at all. So, Larry, I think you got the official results in this third event.
Yep, they're in. The boys 400-yard freestyle relay. Our champion for 2022, Patterson Mill High School. That was Cade Snyder, Walker Milstead, Mason Wendell, and Sean Lipscomb. In second place was C. Milton Wright. Third, Hartford Tech. Fourth was Bel Air. Fifth, North Hartford. Sixth, Falston. Seventh, Havre de Grace. Eighth, Aberdeen. And 9, Joppatown.
There you see Deb Bosler, the athletic director of the county, giving out the awards. That I believe is Patterson. No, is that third place they're giving out?
Looks like third place. That would be Bel Air High School.
Okay. It's the first event, the 200-yard medley relay.
Whoops. That would have been C. Milton Wright then. Event number 1. And first place was Patterson Mill. So it went C. Milton Wright, Bel Air, and Patterson Mill. Third, second, and then first. Your champions, Cade Snyder, Jaden Harley, Ian Sauer, and Sean Lipscomb from Patterson Mill. The winning time, 1:45.48. Knocked about 2 seconds off their seed time.
Yeah.
Picked up 40 points. So that's your first event.
Yeah.
Winners.
Deb Bosler, who does a great job as the athletic director for the county, and here, and I tell her, do you ever get any night at home? Because every time we're doing a game, there she is. She has got to be out every night they have a game, and she enjoys the job. Former Edgewood High School athletic director, and now the director of athletics for the entire county.
Pretty amazing the effort that those folks put in to make sports special for each of the individuals and the teams. We should recognize also the folks that put together this meet. It's some new challenges, and they were able to host this meet and put I think it was a Bel Air that was the
Sarah Rosner, the Falston coach, was she was sort of the coordinator who put it all together and had a lot of help from a lot of other people as well. There you see the winners getting their medals and getting some pictures taken. Matt Button, the ace photographer for the Aegis out there. speak about a guy who's everywhere. Everywhere I go, Matt Button is there taking pictures and just does a great job. If you get the Aegis paper, you'll see his name plastered all over as photo credits. Matt and I worked together back. That'll let you know how old I am and how old he is, that we worked together at the Aegis back, I don't want to say how long ago it was. It was a while ago. But he's a great guy and a great veteran, great photographer. So I think that
I think
is
we're going to move to the next event.
I think so, yeah. And if that's true, that would be the boys 200-yard freestyle, which we announced before, thinking that that was going to be the event we were watching, and only to find out that they had switched it around and done the relays. So I think we're back on the beam now.
Yeah, I think we're going to give the medals for the 200-yard freestyle relay next.
Yeah.
In third place, that's going to be Bel Air. So we got Grayson Michael, Matt Collins, Josh Morgan, and Zach Clark from Bel Air. Third place. Their time, 1:37.43. Then in second place was Patterson Mill, Jaden Harley, Walker Milstead, Ian Sauer, and Mason Wendell. Their time, 1:36.79. And your champions for 2022 in the 200-yard freestyle relay was Hartford Tech. Shane Ekman, Owen Ray, Gavin Carson, and Noah White. Winning time, 1:35.74. They bested their seed time from a 1:38.09, picking up 40 points. And through that event, Patterson Mill was your leader with 74. Second was Hartford Tech with 68. Bel Air with 66 was third. Falston with 60 in fourth. C. Milton Wright was 60, tied for fourth. Sixth place then was North Hartford at 52. Havity Grace 46. Aberdeen at 46. They also tied. And ninth was Joppatown at 18. So a couple teams tied in the mix there after event number 17, after the second relay.
Mm-hmm. And we have the third relay awards coming up. And again, as you said, Larry, the first big surprise of the night, the first two relays, the top seed team, the top team that came in with the fastest times, did as expected. But in the third one, a big upset.
Yep, Patterson Mill taking first place in that. And we'll wait for everyone to walk up to the awards area, and then we'll give you the total order of finish.
Yeah, senior night here at Magnolia Middle as the 10 teams get their senior awards, and now we're passing out the awards for the event winners. Just a big night at Magnolia Middle School, and always happy to be here to do the swim meets. You know, we haven't been able to do the girls because they do theirs on a separate night, and so we gave you, Larry did some of the highlights from last night to Tuesday night, this being a Wednesday night. Again, the Edgewood, I said Edgewood twice, the Falston team winning at 3:21, C. Milton Wright 3:02.5, and Patterson Mill at 2:95. And again, if you heard before, I'll say it one more time, you'll take the boys' score, combine them with the girls' score, then you come up with the overall winner. And we are predicting that it could be a big situation where you'll have a third team who didn't win the girls or the boys who end up being the overall winner.
Very well could be. And that separation last night from between Falston and C. Milton Wright and even Patterson Mill for third, we're talking about 25 points, which in a relay event where you can get as many as 40, that's a pretty close meet there down the end.
Yep. And again, there is no clear-cut boys favored when you're looking at it tonight. It could be Patterson Mill, Bel Air, Hartford Tech, and maybe someone else we're not even thinking about. But so there's a big, chance here as to who will end up winning the boys event, and then who will win up the overall.
So third place in the 400-yard freestyle relay went to Hartford Tech, Luke Bednarski, Owen Ray, Shane Ekman, Noah White. Their third place time, 3:34.70. Second place went to C. Milton Wright, Alan Chan, Ryan Fan, Liam Van Cycle and Nicholas Musante, their time 3:34.33. And your champion, Patterson Mill High School, Cade Snyder, Walker Milstead, Mason Wendell, Sean Lipscomb, winning time 3:28.19.
Well, you look at that, their qualifying time 3:43.63. They knocked off what's that, 15 seconds almost?
They did. So excellent swim tonight, and one that took them from a much lower seed up into first place, picked up 40 points. Team standings gave Patterson Mill a bit of an extension here, 114 points. They're followed by Hartford Tech with 100. Bel Air is third with 96. C. Milton Wright, 94 in fourth. Falston fifth with 86. North Hartford with 80 in sixth. Havre de Grace in seventh with 70. Aberdeen eighth with 68. And Joppatown 36 and ninth place.
So we've had 30 events. We have 11 total. So my math being we have 8 left to go, and it'll be all 8 of the individuals. Now that we've got the relays out of the way, we'll start with that 200-yard freestyle for the boys. We'll have it in a total of 4 heats. Our first heat will have Marshall Sherman from Havre de Grace in lane 1, Aiden Trey Montana from Havre de Grace in lane 2, Caleb Bishop in lane 3 from Aberdeen. From the Cougars of Falston, Sasha Trellini is in lane 4, lane 5 Scott Jones from Havre de Grace, and Joppatown's Noah Hamilton. The record here 145.50, that established by Ryan Baldino, that in 2018, Ryan from C. Milton Wright High School.
Yeah, I just saw Ryan last week. Ryan's now at Towson University, doing extremely well. Was the commentator for the dual meet between Towson and Loyola University. And Ryan was right there winning some events and doing very well. So great to see him, his family out there to support, and another great Hartford County swimmer now moved on to Towson University.
Absolutely. You see the fans, and they're all very dutifully wearing their masks as required. So we all want to be safe and yet enjoy this swim meet as well. Each of the swimmers, I think, got a chance to invite 2 guests, I believe. And so that's a good thing. 200-yard freestyle, heat 1. Marshall Sherman, Aiden Tramontana, Caleb Bishop, Sasha Trellini, Scott Jones, and Noah Hamilton in lanes 1 through 6.
This is heat 1 of 4.
Yep. Caleb Bishop in lane 3 is the top seed in this particular 2:58.74, his time coming in. Caleb from Aberdeen, he's just a freshman.
Your early leader, Marshall Sherman, in lane number 1.
Yeah, from Havre de Grace. Two times up and 2 times back. Larry has to look at it each time. We novices like to do it like 25-yard increments.
Whatever works.
Whatever works. The 200-yard boys freestyle.
Looked like Marshall's strategy was to go out fast and try to hold on. And he's getting some push now from the middle of the pool.
And that would be Caleb Bishop from Aberdeen in the middle. One more time up and one more back. And this will be the first heat, first of 4 in the 200-yard freestyle boys relay. Event 4, if you're keeping track, 4 of 11. Patterson Mill has led from the very beginning. They led each of the times. How Hartford Tech came up second. Still very, very close among the 3 teams that we predicted might be Patterson Mill, Bel Air, Hartford Tech. The 3 in the most contention.
Your leader, Sasha Trellini, he's a senior.
In lane 4 from
Falston, yep. And then he's followed second place by Caleb Bishop from Aberdeen. He's a freshman. And that's how they finish.
Yep.
In his first heat. Third place, Havre de Grace, down in lane number 5. That's Scott Jones. And now lane 1, Marshall Sherman. Oh, he's still finishing off. Oh, I don't think they were done, Don.
No, they seemed to pause. Was there a reason, do you think?
I think they miscounted And when one miscounts, it seems to be viral.
Wow. So they weren't counting 2 up and 2 back. That is strange. I've never seen that. They all sort of stopped and waited for each other to get there.
A lot of times you'll see that in the 500, but you don't see that much in the 200.
Wow.
Eight lengths of the pool, counting them, and kind of know you're going to touch that wall at the blocks 4 times. And here we go. It's going to be, and your winner is going to be from Aberdeen now. So it's Caleb Bischoff, and then Sasha Trellini.
Caleb, the freshman from Aberdeen, the #1 seed in this particular heat. 2:58.74, his time coming in.
So we'll wait for the official results on that heat.
That was really strange. I think I'm going to mark that down as something I've never seen. That we all stop and we'll wait for people to catch up and then we'll go again.
Yeah, I've seen it. People start to try to get out of the pool, and a coach or another swimmer is yelling at them, "No, you've got more laps to go."
Wow, coach, I'm tired. So that is heat #1. Heat 2 will have Robert Kleintz from Bel Air. He is going to be in lane 1. Andrew Trim from Patterson Mill in lane 2. Christian Hauck in lane 3. From Falston will be Jonas Mendoza in lane 4, I should say lane 5. Trevor Downs from Sea North and White. And Sadie Schuler from the Edgewood Rams in lane 6. That'll be in the second of 4 heats in the 200 boys freestyle. This would normally have been the second event, which we thought was the second one we called, but because they did the 3 relays first, this is ended up being the 4th event of 11. So it's Kleintz, Trent, Hauck, Mendoza, Downs, and Schuler from lane 1 through lane 6.
And everybody's now in the pool. We saw the official right before the start actually stood the swimmers back up. If there's any movement, they will stand the swimmers back up, so there is no false start. Give them a chance to settle back in, and then give them the commands to take your mark, and then the horn, the buzzer to start the race.
8 laps, 4 up and 4 back, and again, one more time we say you notice the X's on all the blocks. They're not using the blocks. They're diving into the pool off of mats. Of course, it's different, something you're not used to, I'm sure.
Christian Hauck, lane number 3, is your early leader. He's already got about a 2 body length lead.
2:29.68 his time coming in.
Everyone bunched up for second place. Anybody's race for second. Right now, Jonas Mendoza has a slight second place lead.
We talked about sprints and marathons. In this one, you're doing 8 laps. Gets to be a little bit of a marathon.
Yeah, this is considered a middle distance swim. However, the people that do it really consider it a sprint.
Wow.
Yep. Actually, all the events we had, all the individual events tonight, most people that swim them consider them sprints, even the 500.
I consider it survival. Staying afloat, keeping the nose above the water.
Well, I can promise you the people that usually do a 50 think the 500 is survival.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The great thing about the swim meet is you see the variety of strokes, from the breast to the back to the fly and the free, and the different distances. Just great fun to watch. Yeah,
and it really gives lots of different swimmers, different body types, opportunities to excel. Not everyone is going to be able to sprint that 50 in a 21-second mark. And that means that some of the swimmers that are able to train to swim longer are going to still excel in the sport.
It looks like touching first in lane 1 was Robert Kleintz from Bel Air, sophomore. That would be a bit of an upset in terms of this heat. He was figured not to be among the faster of the group.
Yeah, the faster seeds are in the middle of the pool, and so any Body on the outside that wins a heat is certainly moving up.
And he just a sophomore from Bel Air, so good future for him. It'll bring up the third heat now. It'll go Caden Schaefer from Patterson Mill will be in lane 1. Lars Lefkowitz from Aberdeen in lane 2. Caden Ernest in lane 3, a junior out of Bel Air. Robert Wills is from Havre Grace. He's in lane 4. Bailey Hetzer in lane 5. And Andrew Pomales from Patterson Mill in lane 6. Just the third of 4 heats.
And as you notice, diving off the deck, you just don't get the distance either on each one of these dives. A lot of swimmers will take a little bit deeper dive and really use their kick in their streamlined position to catapult them out there, maybe halfway down the pool, maybe longer to start the meet. When now off the deck, you're seeing them pop up just after the backstroke flags.
Yeah.
So it's really early compared to what they're used to.
Jonas Mendoza in the lead, just barely. Christian Houck in the middle from Hartford Tech. Looks like lane 4, Jonas Mendoza. Am I seeing that right? Looks like he might has about a body length lead. Oh, pardon me. Had the wrong group. This is the third of the 4 heats. Right. That's Robert Wills from Havre Grace in lane 4. Thank you. Caden Schaefer, Lars Lefkowitz, Caden Ernest, Robert Wills, and Bailey Hetzer, and Andrew Pomales in lanes 1 through 6.
Yeah, the Havre Grace cap is recognizable. Stands out with the white with a big H.
Yeah.
All the rest are kind of hard to tell. The black and the blues and the symbols don't stand out as much. That's why when I was at John Carroll, we were bright yellow and with black letters, and everybody knew us. We looked like a bunch of bananas in the pool.
Oh.
And when the kids got out, they put on yellow sweatpants, so we really looked like bananas on the side of the pool. Yeah, but it was easy to find them when I needed them.
That's funny.
So now the lead change here. We've got Caden Ernest that actually touches first.
Yeah, Caden from Bel Air.
Second was Robert Wills from Havre Grace. Third coming in, touching, is Lars Lefkowitz from Aberdeen.
Caden Schaefer in lane 1 from Patterson Mill, and Andrew Pomales from Patterson Mill.
4th and 5th, respectively.
Yep.
And out in lane number 6, Andrew Pomales.
That'll take us to our top heat. These are the top swimmers, the top seeded swimmers. We'll have in lane 1 from Seamilton Wright, the senior Liam Van Sickle. In lane 2, a junior from Seamilton Wright, also Nicholas Masante. Shane Ekman is the favored swimmer with 1:55.21 in lane 3. He's from Hartford Tech. Bel Air sophomore Jared White is in lane 4. Lane 5 with Hartford Tech is Gavin Carson. Lane 6, also from Hartford Tech, is Devin Costner. So Hartford Tech has 2 swimmers in this, actually 3 swimmers who've qualified in this particular fastest heat. That's Ekman in lane 3. Looks like lane 2 has a slight lead, the junior Nicholas Masante. Event 4 of the 11 events. This the 200-yard boys freestyle.
Gavin Carson now taking the lead for Hartford Tech out in lane number 5.
So again, we have 3 Hartford Tech swimmers in this final heat.
That certainly bodes well in the scoring for Hartford Tech.
Yeah, they could, theoretically they could do 1, 2, 3, which wouldn't be a bad thing if you're Hartford Tech, obviously. Patterson Mill with that slight lead after the 3 relays.
Looking very strong, very consistent up there in lane number 5. But gaining on him down in lane number 2 and 3. That's Masante and Ekman.
Ekman, the center swimmer in lane 3 from Harper Tech, who, again, the top seed at 1:55.21. The only one to finish below the 2-minute mark in terms of their seed time.
Nicholas Musanti now taking over the lead.
In lane 2 from C. Merkin.
And he looking equally strong.
We have an upset here.
As they come to the wall. Yep, it's going to be lane number 2.
Nicholas
Musanti.
Musante, who had a 2:01.43. He was the, I guess, third seed coming in. So it looks like he's pulled the upset, has Musante.
Gavin Carson second, and it was too close to call between Garrett White and Shane Ekman for third.
Carson from Harper Tech and Ekman from Harper Tech as well. So it looks like, just unofficially, that we've had our second upset here tonight. Nicholas Musante from C. Milton Wright.
And so we will not have a break this time around. We'll go right to event number 5. That's going to be your boys 200-yard IM. There'll be 4 heats of this, Don. In heat number 1, we got Jason Moses from Aberdeen, sophomore, in lane number 2. Zach Patton in lane number 3, a freshman from Falston. Lane 4, Griffin Hevesy from North Hartford. And in 5, Axel Trellini from Falston. He's a sophomore.
And you'll see the butterfly, the backstroke, the breaststroke, and the free. So you'll have each individual swimmer doing 4 different strokes. This has to be the toughest to be able to be at least proficient, maybe not great, but proficient in every stroke.
Yeah, and what you see here is sometimes some of the swimmers that get out in the first half of the race look very strong, then the breaststrokers hit it.
Boy, we talked about that. That breaststroke is just the one that separates, if you will, the men from the boys in terms of it is so awkward looking and so hard to, I guess, master that particular stroke.
And such upper body strength needed for butterfly and for the backstroke. Then it flips over and you need all kick when it comes to the breaststroke. You get the distance per stroke out of your kick in that particular stroke, and then you finish it up with freestyle, which is a kind of combination of both.
So now they'll go to the backstroke. Again, we talk about the fly in the back. They look so so pretty and just so magnificent.
And we may have had our first disqualification. You have to touch the wall in the butterfly with 2 hands, and you don't do a flip turn going into the backstroke. Oh. One of our swimmers did, so we may have had our first DQ. And as they come in from backstroke, you'll now you can touch the wall with 1 hand. Some people will do a flip turn in this. The first swimmer just flips to their belly. The second swimmer coming in also just flipping to their belly. You'll see in some of the latter heats, the swimmers will touch with their hand and then do a flip turn from their back. So it's rather cool to watch.
It's the 3 of the 4 strokes, the breaststroke, and we talked about the others being so magnificent and just pretty, and these are just, like you say, like a frog-like motion.
And the stroke, we got a really good view of the swimmer coming in.
That was Griffin Hevesy.
Yes, from North Hartford. And wanting to get his hands out in front of him, pull down to his chest, shoot him back out again, and then the kick gets engaged.
I kind of like to watch the cheerleaders when they finally get to the dance portion of their routine. That's what this freestyle is like. Oh, goodness, we've done this. Now we can just do freestyle.
Whatever you got left.
Yeah.
Hopefully you got a kick left.
It looks like Hevesy is well out in front in lane 4 from North Hartford. Again, the first of 4 heats here in this particular event.
Griffin taking a very straight approach to this, right down the center of the lane. And it'll bode them well. We don't like to see swimmers wiggle their way down. We want to see a nice tight streamline right down the middle of the pool. And he'll come in as your winner of this heat. Heat number 1.
Hevesy from North Hartford.
Looks like we did have a scratch there as well. Looks like Trellini in lane 5 may have scratched from this heat.
And Patton finishing second, and it looks like
Jason Moses. for third.
Yeah.
From Aberdeen.
Again, that's the first of the 4 heats. Timing is what it's all about. It's not winning the heat necessarily. It's what time you have. This is the slower of the 4 heats, and now the second of the qualifiers. This will be the second heat of the 200-yard IM. It's Jason Perndrecka from Aberdeen in lane 1. Bel Air's Ethan Fulmer in lane 2. Also from Bel Air, Andrew Morgan in lane 3. Hartford Tech's Lucas Ludwig is in lane 5. I should say in lane 4. In lane 5 is freshman Seamilton Wright's Braylon Young, and Will Armiger from North Hartford is in lane 6. Perndrecka, Fulmer, Morgan, Ludwig, Young, and Armiger, lanes 1 through 6.
Lucas Ludwig with the early lead in the butterfly. Second place next to him is Andrew Morgan from Bel Air. As they flip over into the backstroke.
You mentioned about the DQ in the first heat. What happened there? They didn't touch with both hands?
Yeah, when you come into the wall in the butterfly and the switch over to backstroke, you have to touch the wall with both hands simultaneously. Otherwise, that is a disqualification.
That is no good.
No, it's not a good day.
No.
Especially in the championships. You don't want to get disqualified here. Hurts you and it hurts the team because those points, as we've said, are really, really important. We're scoring down to the 20th place.
Looks like in lane 4, Lucas Ludwig.
I'll correct myself. It looks like in the individual events, we're scoring down to the 16th place. With 20 points being the top score in the individual events.
It's the breaststroke, as you see, the one you want to get done, get it out of the way. I would think that it's probably the least popular stroke that the swimmers like to do.
Unless you're a breaststroker, then you love it. The breaststrokers would tell you butterfly is the one they want to get out of the way.
Yeah, technique-wise, I guess it might be the most difficult.
It is, and I have, in my coaching years, I always was able to tell the breaststrokers because when you meet them, you take a look at how they're standing. If their toes are pointed, if their toes are pointed out, they're going to be a breaststroker. If they're pointed in, it's a butterflyer.
Lucas Ludwig, we talked about that in my days as a monitoring the lunchroom when I was coaching baseball. Always looked for the people who are eating their peas left-handed.
Oh,
because then I had left-handed pitchers.
Yeah, right, or a switch hitter, right?
And they're like they're like the weight in gold if you can get a left-handed pitcher. So
here we go, another lead change here.
Yeah, it looks like the lane 3 now is coming up.
Yep.
It's Andrew Morgan.
Andrew Morgan, your winner of this heat. Second place will be Lucas Ludwig.
So Morgan from Bel Air and Ludwig from Hartford Tech.
And it looks like Ethan Fulmer and Braylon Young battled for third place there at the touch.
And again, they'll add the times all up, so it doesn't matter, as we said many times, who wins the heat. It's the time that you record it. So theoretically, somebody from heat 1 could end up winning the whole thing if they happen to, have a particularly good night. We'll go to heat 3 of 4. It's Ethan Ryan from Aberdeen in lane 1. He's a freshman. Junior Bel Air's Josh Morgan is in lane 2. Christian Wizuski, I should say, Christian, sorry about that, from Falston, a freshman in lane 3. Gabrielle Ekman in lane 4 from Hartford Tech. Marco Abruzzi from Hartford Tech is in lane 4. And Samuel Scheffling from Patterson Mill is in lane 6.
Looks like Marco may have been a scratch from this event in lane number 5.
Our PA announcer was also having trouble with that last name.
Yep, and she said, never mind,
he's not here.
He's not here. It's one of the more interesting announcements I've heard. Your leader in lane number 3 at the moment, that's Christian Wizuski.
Christian from the Cougars of Boston, just a freshman.
Some of your top seeds tonight are freshmen in our heats.
Backstroke, the second of the 4 disciplines in this particular event. I'm sure those freshmen watching those seniors, they can't imagine that someday they will be on that podium, you know, being recognized as senior. It seems like that will never come, and then you sort of close your eyes and you're a senior.
Yeah, it is a blink. You know,
Yeah.
having had 4 children go through high school and college, boy, high school and college are a blink.
Yeah.
Things are tightening up here in this race, Don.
Heat 3 of 4. As you said, they're coming down to 16 places, you're saying, that they'll count in the individuals?
Correct. They score points down to the 16th place. So now down in lane number 2 is your new leader. That's Josh Morgan, yep, from Bel Air.
And here's the thing, if you end up winning the meet by a point or two, you know, you get down to that 16, 15, 14 places and you're picking up a point at a time, that could be all the difference in the entire meet.
And what makes it a lot of fun to be a team member on any of these teams, because your contribution counts, even if it's a couple points, and getting 15th, 16th place.
Good point. You're seeing now the freestyle. This the third of 4 heats. Boy, this is bunched. It looks like lane 2, Josh Morgan does have the lead.
Christian Wizuski is second, and Gabriel Ekman is third. And that's how they're going to finish.
Yep. 1, 2, and 3. Lanes 2, 3, and 4. I should say lane 3. Yeah, lane 2, 3, and 4.
Right. Morgan, Wizuski, Ekman.
In that order.
Sounds like a law firm.
They'll be on TV. Now we come to the fastest of the heats. These are the young men who have qualified top 209.34 is the top qualifying time. Mason Young from Hartford Tech established the record in 2018 of 154.59. And again, Zach Clark at 209.34 from Bel Air is the top seed here in this particular race. He is in lane 3. Looks like we also have another scratch here in lane 1.
Mark Garcia from Edgewood.
Yeah. Addison Sweat in lane 2 from C. Milton. Zach Clark from Bel Air in lane 3. Cade Snyder in lane 4 from Patterson Mill. Ryan Fan, a junior from C. Milton Wright in lane 5. And Luke Bedarski from Hartford Tech is in lane 6.
That's your early leader out in lane number 4. Cade Snyder from Patterson Mill. And he touches first. Yep, right next to him.
The backstroke now coming up, the second of the 4 strokes. It's the final heat of the 200-yard IM individual medley.
And as you see him come to the wall, you'll watch the swimmer in the backstroke touch the wall, and you may see a flip turn or 2 in this heat. There's 1, nope, open turn. 2, open turn. Well, make a liar out of me.
And you notice how they try to stay underwater as long as they can, because that breaststroke, you know, if they can reach those flags, I guess that would be a good way to do it.
Yeah, they do what's called a full pull out. You're allowed 1 full pull down of your stroke down to your waist, 1 long kick, and thrown in there is also a dolphin kick.
Okay.
So that should get most swimmers out halfway down the length of the pool in the breaststroke.
Now comes the freestyle, and again, as we said, liken it to cheerleaders, here's where you get to do the dance, and this is the fun part. As you said, Larry, whatever you got left, you just sort of let it all hang out right here.
Yeah, and it's unusual if for these swimmers in the fastest heat that if they've got a body length lead, they're going to win the event. And it looks like our Patterson Mill swimmer, Cade Snyder, is pulling away. Second place is in lane number 3. That's Zach Clark from Bel Air.
Cade Snyder, the second seed in this particular heat and event. Zach Clark, the number 1 seed. So the winner, it does look like, yeah, the Patterson Mill, Cade Snyder. Unofficially touches first.
Ryan Fan up in lane number 5 was 3rd, then followed by lane number 2, Addison Sweat from C. Milton Wright.
I think, did you get the results from
the 200-yard freestyle? Yeah, we'll give them to you now. So in first place, your champion for this year. Actually, we'll go the other way. We'll read them up from 8th place. It's Robert Wills from Havity Grace in 8th. His time, 2:12.12. 7th was Caden Ernest from Bel Air, 2:10.34. 6th was Devin Coster from Hartford Tech, 2:09.74. Liam Van Sickle was 5th from C. Milton Wright, 2:01.34. Garrett White in 4th from Bel Air, 1:59.63. Your top 3 finishers: Shane Ekman 3rd from Hartford Tech, a 1:59.52. Gavin Carson was 2nd from Hartford Tech, 1:56.72. And your champion for 2022 and 200-yard freestyle from C. Milton Wright, a junior, Nicholas Musante. Winning time, 1:55.29. Dropped just about 6 seconds.
Wow.
To pick up 20 points.
That's great.
For the folks at C. Milton Wright.
And Larry, what's that do to the standings here after 4 events?
Well, it sure does flip things a little bit. Now shows that C. Milton Wright is your leader with 66 points. Well done. There might be something here that we need to check out. Let's, What's going on with the scoring is now the score results that we're getting are only including the first relay, not all 3 relays. So I'm reluctant to kind of give these and confuse everyone. So we're going to have to wait it out here. In fact, we would have to wait to the very end. So we're not going to have running scores because the relays are set up in an order to come up at a certain time. And now we would be giving you stuff through already knowing what the results are for the relays.
So we think Patterson Mill was in the lead after the 3 relays.
Correct.
And they won this particular event here, event 4.
Right.
So
they would have picked up 20 points. But Hartford Tech finished 2nd and 3rd, so they'll pick up 33 points.
Okay.
So they end up with a 13-point spread between the 2 schools, and then we'd have to work our way down the different finishes to see what each team got.
So we'll just be in the dark like everybody else until the end. We're seeing now the awards being given out.
Yep, and this would be the 200-yard freestyle awards happening.
That must be the 3rd place team.
Yeah, these are individual.
Yeah.
And there's Nick Musante, your champion.
Again, you see his size being somewhat smaller than the others. One of the great things about swimming is a sport where obviously it's nice to have a body that's for a swimmer, but you can have larger people and smaller people who compete.
It reminds me of golf. You know, you look out there and you see people who play the sport of golf at high school, pro level. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You'll see someone that looks like a behemoth that hits the ball, and that looks great. And then someone that looks tiny, in comparison, comes out and hits it 20 yards further.
Think of Gary Player and Ben Hogan, people who are all-time great golfers who were small of stature and still were able to do some great things.
And you take a person like Michael Phelps, 6'5", wingspan, 7 feet wide, and you think, well, every swimmer that must be good must be built like Michael. Just not so. Giles Smith had the fastest 50 time in high school history from Mcdonald, and Giles was no taller than you, Don.
Well, I'm 6'3", so.
Oh, okay.
When you talk about, though, if you were going to build a perfect body for a swimmer, Michael Phelps, with the small torso and the huge arms and the huge hands.
Albatross.
If you ever met him, you'd think, my goodness, this guy is a little bit different in the way he's constructed.
Yeah, I have big mitts, and my mitts got engulfed by his hands.
From Baltimore.
Pretty amazing.
Yep, good guy. So looks like we're now going to, event number, is this the?
This will be event number 7. It'll be the 50 freestyle.
Yep. And this again it's over in the blink of an eye because it's up and back and you're done. So we have 6 heats here coming. Riley Abergast from Patterson Mill, Vincenzo DeSantis, Lorenzo Howard, Justin Craig, and Sean Kundra, Rams, Joppatown, and Aberdeen in lanes 1 through 5 respectively.
When we get to the faster heats of this event, we'll be barely getting the names out before the race is finishing up.
Ryan Baldino again, the champion, the all-time record holder in Hartford County. He established that back in 2018, a time of 21:21. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty quick. The national record is 1975. Giles Smith that I just mentioned has the national high school record.
So Ryder Arbogast, Vincenzo De Santos, Lorenzo Howard, Justin Craig, and Sean Kundra in lanes 1 through 5, respectively.
And it looks like lane number 4 is a scratch tonight. Justin Craig from Joppatown.
So
I hope that's not illness, but you never know. We've had several scratches so far this evening.
Yeah. It looks like
your leader in lane number 3.
Lorenzo Howard.
Yep.
From Joppatown, a junior.
Lorenzo's got a long reach to the wall. Good job. Yes.
35.81, his seed time coming in. So that's the first of 6 heats, and we'll cover all 6 here tonight. Coming up, the second heat will be Julian Philippe Auguste from Aberdeen. He's in lane 1. Ian Newman from lane 2, sophomore from Joppatown. Sabby Schuler, senior from Edgewood, in lane 3. Zephaniah Madison from Haverty Grace in lane 4. Sasha Trellini, lane 5 from Falston. Patterson Mills, Chandler Wilson in lane 6. 50-yard freestyle, heat 2 as you see.
Early leader down in lane number 2. That's Ian Newman from Joppatown at the turn. And coming off the wall, it's still him.
Yeah.
Being challenged in lane number 4. That's Zephaniah Madison. Zephaniah from Haverty Grace.
Yeah, it's going to be close.
Yep. And I think Zephaniah may have touched him out.
Yeah.
But again, our results are only by our sight.
Yes. And my sight is at my age, yeah.
And I'm not far behind you, Don. So
we go now to lane, or should say to heat 3 of the 6 heats. From Bel Air will be the sophomore Robert Kleintz in lane 1. Lane 2, Donovan Craig from Haverty Grace. James Cassidy from North Hartford in lane 3. Paul Davis from Haverty Grace in lane 4. Senior from Bel Air, Ian Wyatt in lane 5. And North Hartford's Michael DeJesus from North Hartford in lane 6.
One of the swimmers I coached for several years, James Cassidy here, lane number 3. Be a little biased on this one. He's right there for your lead. But now Donovan Craig is your leader from Haverty Grace. It's going to be Craig and then Cassidy and then Davis, Paul Davis for 3rd.
That was a very close one. That's the heat number 3 of 6, and we'll be moving on to heat 4 here. Brandon Newen from Hartford Tech is in lane 1. Elijah Greer from Falston in lane 2. C. Milton Wright's Paul Mullins in lane 3. Haverty Grace Henry Pencil is in lane 4. Michael Pomales from Aberdeen is in lane 5. And Alex Newen in lane 6 from Aberdeen.
We got Brandon and Alex Newen both in the same heat, but different schools. Wonder if they are related at all.
It could be because Hartford Tech being a magnet school where kids come from all over the county, they may be Aberdeen, kids themselves, and you choose what school you want to go to.
Gotcha.
Interesting. Edgewood, Bel Air, Falston, North Hartford all have those magnet programs.
Early leader in lane number 3. That's Paul Mullins. Solid turn there. Comes out of it with the lead.
Mullins from C. Milton Wright. This heat 4.
Mullins is going to get this heat up in lane numbers 4 and 5. Very close for second. That's Pencil and Pomales.
So that is heat 4 of 6. Heat 5 coming up. David Gian from C. Milton Wright in lane 1. Ben Impieri is from North Hartford. He's in lane 2. Jaden Harley in lane 3 from Patterson Mill. Bel Air's Logan Weaver in lane 4. A.J. James in lane 5 from Hartford Tech. And North Hartford's Evan Kuzamchik is in lane 6.
Early lead, lane number 3. Jaden Harley. Good turn off the wall. Gives him about half a body length. That is virtually insurmountable in the 50 free. And he's going to win this heat. And touches out. Second place, lane number 2. That's Ben Impieri from North Hartford. Good, solid, quick swims.
That was, yeah. Yeah, we don't have the times, but they all did a nice job.
I'm going to guess they were under 25 or probably under 26 for sure.
25:01 was the top time coming in by Jaden Harley. Now we come up to the top seeds. These are the fastest of the swimmers. Sean Lipscomb from Patterson Mill is in the middle at 23:17. Ray Owen, Matt Collins, Noah White, Ethan Smith, and Matt Schaefer, lanes 1 through 6.
And they are bunched up at the moment. Off the turn, it's lane number 3. That's going to be Lipscomb, right.
At 23:17, his qualifying time. It looks like that he is going to.
Yes, he is.
Nice swim by Sean Lipscomb.
Yep, and lane number 5, it looked like Ethan Smith might have got second. Noah White was right there with him, so we'll wait for the final results.
Sean
but
Lipscomb,
it appears Lipscomb
from Patterson Mill, as we're saying. So the Patterson Mill Huskies seem to be doing well. Again, we don't have no idea what the team score is because of the way they chose to run the relays.
Correct, and I do have results for the 200 individual medley. In 8th place, Ethan Ryan from Aberdeen, a freshman, 2:33.21. 7th was Gabriel Ekman from Hartford Tech, 2:27.25. 6th was Christian Wizuski from Falston, 2:26.05. Josh Morgan was 5th from Bel Air, 2:25.69. Addison Sweat from C. Milton Wright, 2:13.97. And in 3rd place, Ryan Pham from C. Milton Wright, 2:11.79. 2nd was Zach Clark from Bel Air, 2:10.29. And your champion in the 2022 boys 200-yard IM, Cade Snyder from Patterson Mill, winning time 2:06.42. Cade dropped 3 seconds.
Wow.
To pick up 20 points for the Huskies from Patterson Mill.
We've seen a lot of that, the times being dropped by 2, 3, 4, in some cases 5 seconds. That's outstanding.
You want to train so that this time of the year you're dropping your fastest times, and it looks like the coaches have gotten the swimmers in a position to get these fast times tonight.
And that is without the blocks. Now, of course, they swam all year long without the blocks, so the qualifying times are minus the blocks as well. Again, we emphasize that if you're watching this and you're wondering why they're not diving off the blocks, it's because there was a mechanical failure at the Edgewood School back early in the season, and they decided to go the whole year without leaping off the blocks because of liability reasons and reasons that we don't want anybody getting hurt. So it is different. 2 weeks from now, when they go to the regions, they will be using the blocks. So I don't know if that changes their technique or they have to do some training to be able to, to
get used to the blocks again. Yeah. Well, most of these swimmers at this point, they're training with their high schools, but they're also doing some club swimming. So the club meets that they're going to, most of those pools are in a position where they've got the blocks set up. So it's like riding the bike for these folks that have been swimming since they were 5, 6 years old, that they should be able to excel on the blocks, even though tonight they're going from the deck.
Hartford Schools High School Showcase coming to you this week from Magnolia Middle School. There you see my partner Larry Dukes, Don Morrison with you. Very happy to be here. We have just a couple events left here in our winter season, Larry. It seemed like it started yesterday, and we have one more basketball game to do, and then the Uckback Wrestling Championships the following Saturday, and we're done for the winter season.
It's amazing how we talked about earlier how years become blinks, and certainly these months become blinks in time.
Especially when you get older, it seems like when you're a young person, it's like, hey, next week will never come, or my birthday will never come. As you get older, it's like, slow down a little bit. Let's enjoy the time.
People out there listening to us are laughing, saying, I can't believe it's only Wednesday.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the work week to be over on Friday.
And as you say, live streaming, people are watching us probably halfway across the world. They're watching us on live stream, which I don't speak languages around the world, but you get the idea.
Yeah, it's amazing. We did some live streaming this weekend of some college championships, some high school championships in the private school leagues, and we could see where folks were coming around the world.
So you see Deb Bostler is giving out the awards. Larry, these awards are for?
The 200-yard IM, that's Ryan Pham that we talked about from C. Milton Wright, third place. Second place was Zach Clark. And now here comes Kate Snyder, your champion from Patterson Mill, in the purple towel.
I like it.
Yeah. And he'll climb up and take a normal podium position with his friends.
His compatriots from other schools, and again we saw the hands clapping that his opponents were giving him, which is always nice to see this camaraderie between teams, between individuals from different schools.
Yeah, the respect for people that are able to perform at this type of level, and swimming is one of those sports. There's rivalry, certainly. There's competition, but at the same time, when it's all said and done, you respect the person. I mean, it all comes down to times.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as we can certainly sort out fastest from not so fast very quickly just by times. In other sports, other team sports, you've got to look at the chemistry between people and how it all works together or doesn't.
Larry, you mentioned that a lot of these people here, as you see the crowd here tonight on the deck here at Magnolia Middle School. Again, we're so happy to see everybody masked up. You want to get a shot of the people, and somebody forgot to put their mask on. But
yeah, I see no masking violations at all.
Obeying the rules very strictly, and they're
even
just happy
completely
to be here.
over the nose too, Don. This is really impressive.
Yeah.
Look at the crowd, and people are masked up completely, which is good. This is really.
Well, they're happy to be here because for the first half of the year, up until February 1st, there were no spectators at all allowed, and now we're seeing that a certain limited number. I believe it was 2 tickets per swimmer.
Okay.
You could invite 2 people, mom and dad, or maybe your friends or whatever. So good to see spectators back here enjoying. Now what are we seeing?
This must be the 50-yard freestyle. Let me give you the results. Just got handed. I'll give you top 8 from in 8th place. Ben Impieri from North Hartford, his time 25:72. Paul Mullins from C. Milton Wright was second, 25:69.
Larry, let me interrupt you. They're giving the winners here. Who's the
top 3?
Number 1 coming up.
Number 1 is Sean Lipscomb from Patterson Mill. Winning time, 22:94.
That's a good time.
Very good time, especially coming as a dive off the deck, as you've mentioned a couple times.
And your second and third place?
Second place was Noah White from Hartford Tech. His time, 23:83. Third place, Ethan Smith from Falston. His time, 23:84. 1/100th of a second separated second and third.
Well, Larry, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead if you would give us those other finishers.
Okay, we'll work our way back. Impieri was 8th. Paul Mullins from C. Milton Wright, 7th. Jaden Harley, 6th from Patterson Mill. His time, 24:85. Owen Ray from Hartford Tech was 5th, 24:78. Matt Collins from Bel Air, senior, his time was 24:40. And then your top 3, Ethan Smith, Noah White, and your champion, Sean Lipscomb from Patterson Mill. Winning time, 22:94.
Larry, I may be a bit confused. I think this is the 7th event coming up. It's scheduled to be the 5th, but because they did the 2 relays, out of order, this is the 7th event. We have 7 of 11 coming up.
Correct. Yeah, we have, it may be at this point easier to count the number we have left.
Yeah.
We have 5 events left.
The boys 100-yard butterfly. In this heat number 1 of 4 heats, it's Dwayne Roper in lane 1, actually lane 2 from Hartford Tech. Freshman C. Milton Wright is Braylon Young in lane 3. The Cougars from Falston, Ian Wright is in lane 4. Again, there are 4 heats in this particular 100-yard butterfly.
This is my favorite event. I simply really enjoy the butterfly. Well, one-hand touchdown in lane number 2. The official's hand went straight up.
Oh, my.
So we have a disqualification, unfortunately. Butterfly and breaststroke, you must touch with 2 hands at every wall.
The swimmer knows that. Why would that occur? Would he just inadvertently not do the touch?
Exactly. Oh, did it again. Yep, it's unfortunately not.
And you learn.
Concentrating. Yeah. Yep. And then for that swimmer down in lane number 2.
51:47 is the county record. Jack Leary, Patterson Mill, back in 2019.
And your winner of that heat appears to be lane number 4, Ian Wright from Falston.
Our next heat coming up, we'll have 4 swimmers in heat number 2. Alex Mcdonald from Patterson Mill will be in lane 2. Zach Strong in lane 3 from Joppatown. Robert Wills from Haverty Grace High. He's in lane 4. And lane 5 is Samuel Shepling from Patterson Mill. Again, this is the 100-yard butterfly. All the relays have been done away with. We finished those in the first 3 events of the night, and so now it's all individuals from this point forward. McDonald, Strong, Wills, and Shepling, lanes 2 through 5. Four lengths of the pool, 25 yards per. Thank you.
Wow, using my language
you've
now.
You've converted me. I have become an official aficionado of swimming.
Wow.
Not quite.
Rowdy Gaines, beware. Here comes Don Morrison.
2 times up and 2 times back.
Oh, jeez.
I have backslidden.
Maybe Rowdy Gaines will adopt your language for swimming.
Perhaps.
It'll be fun.
Well, I don't think.
Yeah. So down in lane number 2 is your leader. That's Alex McDonald from Patterson Mill.
2 laps to go here, 1 up and 1 back, and we'll be finished our second of 4 heats.
Now, Haverty Grace's Robert Wills is in second. Down in lane number 4. Lane number 4. And he's making a move here. We could have a close finish. I like Robert Wills coming on strong here.
From Haverty Grace in lane 4. This could be a very close finish.
I'm feeling it. It could be lane number 4.
It is.
It is.
Well, he came from way off the pace.
Yep. Robert Wills, your heat winner, followed by Alex McDonald, second, and then Zach Strong and Sam Shepling.
That'll bring us up now to the third of the 4 heats. Zach Olschick from Falston is going to be in lane 1. Nick Spigler in lane 2 from North Hartford. C. Milton's Ryan Pham in lane 3. Ben Ellenbecker is in lane 4. Lane 5 is Devin Costner, and he's from Haverty Grace, or I should say Harper Tech. And Jeff Seffa, also from Harper Tech, in lane 6. Olschick, Spigler, Pham, Ellenbecker, Costner, and Seffa, lanes 1 through 6.
Too close to call this one right now. And we'll see how it comes out of the turn. And off the wall. Looks like lane number 3 is that's Ryan Pham. And Ryan Pham starting to pull away. And Ben Ellenbecker is second thus far as we make the halfway mark.
What a great shot there.
Pham. Body length. Not going to get caught today. Ellenbecker second. Down to lane number 2, that's Nick Spigler from North Hartford, third. And that's how they'll go to the wall. 1, 2, 3. Pham, Ellenbecker, and Spigler.
That'll take us now to the fastest heat. This is the final heat, 4 of 4 here tonight in the boys 100-yard butterfly. It'll be Alan Chan, sophomore from C. Milton Wright in lane 1. Matt Collins, senior from Bel Air in lane 2. Zach Clark, the top seed from Bel Air. He's a senior in lane 3. Ethan Smith from Falston in lane 4. Michael O'Leary from North Hartford in lane 5. And Ian Sauer from Patterson Mill in lane 6. 57.48, the top seed time for Zach Clark. That compares to 51.47, Jack Leary's all-time Harford County record established back in 2019. Again, our assumption, our belief is that Patterson Mill might have the lead in terms of the boys' race here overall, but we're a little bit in the dark because of the way they chose to run the events tonight.
Looked like your early leader was down in lane number 1, Alan Chan. Yep, Alan, it does have the lead. Coming to the first 50.
Chan from C. Milton Wright, a 59.48 qualifying time.
That would be an upset as well, as we've talked this evening, as the middle of the pools are going to be your top seeds.
Looks like Zach Clark is coming on now in that lane 3, the top seed.
See how this turn happens for these swimmers. Off the wall. Now in lane number 3.
That's Clark.
That's Zach Clark. Zach Clark coming to the wall. Pham second. Yep. So it's Zach Clark. And then Alan Chan. And it appears to be Ethan Smith for third place from Falston.
That's a big win for Bel Air when we get the official results. Bobcats, again, one of the 3 teams. We were told Patterson Mill, Bel Air, Harford Tech, the favored boys teams. Patterson Mill had the lead after the relays, and looks like, we think at least unofficially, they're holding on to that lead.
Yeah,
but in this particular race, it looks like they're not going to pick up any of the top points. So that could change.
Seeing a lot of good swims by Harford Tech as well, so we'll see. We'll see what happens here.
The mystery. We talked about C. Milton Wright for so many years, coming in, had just dominated year after year. C. Milton Wright was number 1, and then who was going to finish 2nd or 3rd? And now it is just anybody's game.
Yeah.
And again, we talked about it before, that in 2019-20, the last time we had swimming, we had that situation where we had one team win in the girls, one team win in the boys. Girls won by Bel Air, the boys won by Patterson Mill. C. Milton Wright came up with the win because they had scored highly enough in both the boys and the girls. When you combine the scores, they ended up being the winner. And we could see that again tonight, knowing that last night Falston won the girls at 3:21. They don't appear to be in contention for the boys. So it could be that that lead they had will evaporate.
This is heat number 1 of the 100-yard freestyle. There's 6 heats of this. Julian Philippe Auguste from Aberdeen is in lane number 2. Sean Kunda from Aberdeen in 3. And Vincenzo DeSantis from Edgewood in lane number 4.
I left those names for you. Wasn't that nice of me?
And I jumped right in there foolishly.
If we fractured your names, we apologize, but we're doing the best we can, and nice job there, Larry.
Well, I'm not sure how good it was, but
it was a good try.
Thank you. If we get points for trying, we get lots of them.
I had my 3rd grade teacher who told me that I was the most trying student she had. And I thought it was a compliment. I went home and I told my mother that, hey, my teacher said I was a trying student. And
yeah, I had the same type of situation. I had in 5th grade, I had an English teacher that called me Theophilus. And I said, whoa, I thought that was a really, really dignified term.
And what is it, actually?
It was Theophilus kid he ever had.
I like it. I'll remember that.
Really bad joke.
Theophilus.
But I thought it was actually very complimentary.
Some kind of a Greek god.
Yeah, exactly. I thought, wow.
Theophilus.
Wow.
I'll remember
From
that.
an English professor or teacher, I thought, wow, I'm really special.
Smart aleck teacher.
Yeah. I'll never forget him. And your winner, and that was Philippe Augusta.
Yep, Julian Philippe Augusta from Aberdeen, a sophomore. That was in the heat 6 of 6 heats, or I should say heat 1 of 6 heats. So we'll now have the second of these 6 heats. Justin Craig, freshman from Joppatown in lane 1. Ian Newman from Joppatown, sophomore in lane 2. Nathan Lordzik, yeah, the W-L-O-D, it's Ledarsic from Patterson Mill is in lane 3. Caleb Bischoff in lane 4. Freshman from Aberdeen, another freshman from Aberdeen, Angel Ruiz Rivera, and Joppatown's freshman Noah Hamilton That's the lanes 1 through 6. Ledarsic. Nathan Ledarsic in lane 3.
Yeah, it's interesting, the WL to start it and the CZY at the end. Really.
I remember when Mike Krzyzewski first came to Duke. He's now
yeah.
leaving, and he said, "Just there's a couple of Y's and Z's in there. Just call me Coach K."
Right.
So that was sort of the way he was introduced. And now his last year, my wife will be very upset because she is a Coach K fan.
I guess she was happy this weekend when Coach K won his last game at North Carolina.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was a happy day in the Morrison household. Happy wife, happy life. Yeah.
Lane number 3, Ledarsic is your leader at the moment. First 50 as he comes to the wall. He's followed closely by the rest of the folks in lanes 2 and 5 respectively. That would be Ian Newman and Angel Ruiz Rivera.
This particular heat, we've got 4 freshmen and a sophomore. Ledarsic, we don't have what he is. They didn't list that, but at least 5 of the 6 underclassmen. This heat 2 of 6 heats in the boys 100-yard freestyle. It is the 8th event that we'll be watching here tonight. We have a total of 11. My math is correct. That leaves us 3.
That's correct.
Wow.
So we had Ledarsic finishing first. Caleb Bischoff was second from Aberdeen.
So that'll take us now to the heat 3 of 6. Connor Lombard from Hartford Tech in lane 1. Ian Wyatt in lane 2 from Bel Air. Michael Malia from Haverty Grace in lane 3. Donovan Craig from Haverty Grace in lane 4. Jonas Mendoza from Falston in lane 5. And Michael DeJesus from North Hartford in lane 6.
As a reminder, tonight's swim meet is being live streamed.
Yes, it is.
At www.facebook.com/HCNTV. It can also be seen on demand at www.hartfordtv.org. And the meet will be televised on Hartford TV channels Armstrong 7, Comcast 21, and HD 1084 and 31 Verizon on Saturday, February 12th at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. and Monday, Valentine's Day.
Yes.
At 7:30 p.m.
I hope that Mrs. Dukes already has her Valentine's present ready and
I'm about to. She can watch me on TV on Monday night.
Oh gosh!
what a prize,
Mrs. Dukes. I issue my heartfelt apologies to you.
I can promise you that's one thing we won't be doing Monday night.
Well, there you go. Very good. Well, we really appreciate you, Larry, coming out and doing this. You add so much to the telecast. We did cheerleading a couple of weeks ago, and my partner, Beto Sanchez, was called away, works at a hospital, and was not able to be there. Oh.
So you did it alone, huh?
It was tragic. I felt so bad. My call was, and here they are, watch them cheer. And then they did whatever they did. I had no idea what they were doing, but it was good.
Yeah, and I would have been no help at all. I do know that some of them are flyers, and like butterflies, but those flyers do things that are amazing to me.
They do. They are very courageous to be able to be thrown in the air like they are.
That's and then we come to the wall. It's the 2 Haverty Grace swimmers finishing 1-2. It looked like to me Donovan Craig was first and Michael Malia was second. So in this heat,
in the 3rd of the 6 heats. Yeah, speaking of flyers, my younger granddaughter is a cheerleader, and she's a slender girl, and I keep telling her, put on weight. You do not want to be a flyer. Flyers get tossed in the air, and if the base doesn't like them for some reason, they just drop them.
Yeah.
So don't be a flyer. Flyer's not where you want to be. We're now up to heat 4. This is Paul Davis in lane 1, Haverty Grace. Kyle DiFilippo from North Hartford in lane 2. Todd Orzek from C. Milton Wright, a senior, in lane 3. David Gian, also a senior from C. Milton Wright, is in lane 4. Bailey Hetzer from Bel Air, a freshman, in lane 5. And Henry Pencil from Haverty Grace, that's a big Haverty Grace name, is in lane 6. I love Haverty Grace because you get those names, the Vincentes, and you just generation after generation, you hear them.
Lane
Dave,
number,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was saying lane number 3, Todd Orzik out to early lead from C. Milton Wright. Right next to him, David Gian from C. Milton Wright. Teammates, 1-2 at the moment.
Both seniors, they were honored here earlier tonight and senior night. Hope you got a chance to see that.
Kyle DiFilippo, lane number 2 from North Hartford, is in 3rd place at the moment. Looks like this is the way it's going to finish. Pulling away in lane number 3.
Heat 4 of 6.
Todd Orzik, C. Milton Wright Sr. First, second, his teammate Matt, next to him was Matt Schaefer. No, I got that wrong. David Gian, senior from C. Milton Wright, was second. So your 1-2 finishes both from C. Milton Wright.
And Larry,
both seniors.
you mentioned that they go down to the 16th place in terms of these individuals. So when you go to these slower heats, again, it depends on what your time is. You pick up 1, 2, 3, maybe more points. And as we're saying, we think it's going to come down to, you know, just a razor thin margin as to who's going to win, not only the boys event, but then the overall. So it's important where you finish in these slower heats.
Yeah, I was noticing in some of the events, event results coming up, there were some swimmers that were seated in the first heat that actually scored, which is a big difference maker.
You mean who were seated in the slowest of the heats?
Correct.
I got you. Yeah,
Yep. It actually picked up some points, which really are going to be important to their team scores.
Okay, we go down to heat 5 of this boys 100-yard freestyle. Ben Imperieri from North Hartford is in lane 1. Logan Weaver from Bel Air in lane 2. Ian Sauer from Patterson Mill, lane 3. Matt Schaefer from the Falston Cougars in lane 4. Owen Ray in lane 5 from Hartford Tech. And from North Hartford, it's Evan Kuzimchek. The 100-yard freestyle with 5 of 6 heats.
Early lead. Hard to tell.
Boy, that's a close race right there.
Yeah, we affectionately call that the early smoke in lane number 4. And that would be Matt Schaefer.
Yeah, he seems to have that lead so far.
But the turn off the wall brought them all back together again.
Up and back, and when they come back, this will be the end of the 5th heat of the 6th.
That's really interesting. Sometimes swimmers are really good between the flags, but when they get to the walls, others are just great at
I'm
their
going to let
turns.
you call this one. I tell you what, this is as close as
This
any
is going
race
to be
we've
down
had.
on lane number 2. There you go.
2.
Lane number 2, Logan Weaver from Bel Air, and Ian Sauer finished second in that heat. And then it was Matt Schaefer and Owen Ray. So.
Wow, that was close.
It was close.
So that's 5 of the 6. So let's see. I'm
up here. I'll help you here. And,
Thank you.
And heat number 6 in lane number 1 is Nicholas Musante from C. Milton Wright. 2 is Noah White from Hartford Tech. 3 is Shane Ekman from Hartford Tech. 4, Sean Lipscomb from Patterson Mill. 5, Mason Windle from Patterson Mill. And 6, Grayson Michelli from Bel Air.
Thank you. Somehow I've managed to put my pages out of order. So thank you for doing that.
You bet.
This is, again, the fastest of the heats. So we should see the winner come out of this particular heat.
Out of the first turn, that's up in lane number 4. That's Sean Lipscomb. He's had a great night so far. Your early leader. He comes to the wall. And in first place. Second down in lane number 2. That's Noah White at the moment. And Shane Ekman right there as well. And last turn, he stretches it out to about a body length lead. That is Sean Lipscomb over Shane Ekman is second from Hartford Tech. So they come to the wall. It is Lipscomb and then Ekman. And up in lane number 5, Mason Windle appears to be your top 3 finishers, but we'll wait for the official results. That's how we see it.
That was a very, very close race, both in the second to last heat and that last heat.
Yeah, it gets really exciting when they're that close. Comes down to the touch, the reach to the wall.
I almost kind of like this, that we're in the dark in terms of who's leading. We're like everybody else saying, oh, gosh, what are the scores? Well, we can't update it for you because of the way they chose to run the meet tonight, having the relays first. So the scores we are receiving reflect only that first relay.
Correct.
The other two relays were not figured in, so we don't really know. We do know that Patterson Mill won all three, or I should say they were in first place for the first relays.
What we can do is we can give you, after the 500, which is next, we can give you a look-see into, that will be 2 relays in the books, 2 of the 3, so we'll be able to give you an idea of where things stand. And maybe at that point, from the 500 on, we'll give you the updates, even though you already know the results of the last event. And
I am confused.
Yeah, but
if folks out there are wondering, tonight, because of senior night, they decided to do all of the relays together. Normally they're spaced out, one in the beginning, one in the middle, one at the end. Instead, they did all three relays at the beginning, but the scoring still doesn't reflect that second and third relay that occurred. So the updated team scoring, we are not able to give you accurately what it is.
Yeah, our scoring system is through a software package called Meet Manager. Meet Manager goes in event order, and so it's following the normal meet order for the scoring.
So blame it on the computer, right?
Yeah, well, the computer would blame it on the people for screwing up the normal order of finish.
Computers can't talk. I always say it was that stinking auto spell. I meant to say you were a expert. I didn't mean to say you were the auto spell changed it.
Right.
They're not buying that either.
No.
So now we come to the 100-yard backstroke, is that correct?
Well, actually, what we're going to do here is we're going to have a break. They're going to award the butterfly. So I just received the butterfly results, so maybe I'll get them read quickly here and take us down to the top 3. So in 8th place is Ben Ellenbecker from Hartford Tech, 102.45. 7th was Matt Collins from Bel Air, senior, 100.54. Ian Sauer was 6th from Patterson Mill, 100.49. Ryan Pham from C. Milton Wright, 100.02 for 5th. 4th was Michael O'Leary from North Hartford, 59.39. And maybe we'll hold off on the top 3 until they make their way to the awards podium.
Keep us in suspense, Larry.
Hey, we've got to have some excitement here.
I like it. Yeah. Yeah, they're going to be awarding the first, second, and third place medals, bronze, silver, and gold.
Correct.
Not sure if they're really bronze, silver, and gold, but we'll say that. We're in the Winter Olympics now, Larry. Are you into the Winter Olympics?
I am. Although the Americans are not having the Olympics that people had hoped for, I really feel for the women slalom skier that has had 2 falls in 2 events.
Schiffler?
Schiffler. Yep. Yeah. Was it Megan Schiffler?
Something.
Yeah, something like that. But I really felt for her sitting next to the snow fence last night with her head at her knees and really feeling it. It's tough. She's been in every TV commercial leading up to her runs, and the margin of error is so small. You could see that the turn that she was trying to make, especially in the first race, she was on her edge, and her weight distribution just off, and put her tail on the ground, and it was over. Yeah. So yeah, I'm into it a little bit. I like the speed skating. I like curling too. Curling looks like big fun.
Curling, yes, one of the great sports of all time. No, curling is interesting. I'll say that. It's interesting. Yeah, with the broom, I could do that. I could sweep my wife has me doing that a lot, so I'm a good sweeper.
We have, believe it or not, down in Laurel, one of the big curling centers in the Mid-Atlantic. There's a curling center. I know that because right next to it is a big pool. So you have an ice hockey rink, a curling center, and a pool all in the same block in Laurel. So
curling. So we have been filling time, basically.
We have, but now we're coming up to the top 3.
Nice job. We talked about curling, about Schiffler, and about Winter Olympics, and now we're back to the main event.
And in 3rd place is Ethan Smith of Falston. His time, 58.29. He's a junior. 2nd place was Alan Chan from C. Milton Wright, 58.15, a sophomore. And your champion, which will make his way to Joining his two other buddies is Zach Clark from Bel Air High School, a senior, winning time 57:32. And there's Zach Clark.
So you're a senior on senior night, and you are the #1 seed, and you fulfill that by winning. That's a good thing.
And he was the natatorium announcer said that he was the Michael Phelps of Harford County.
There you go.
Little does she know that Michael Phelps started in Harford County.
Yes.
Yeah. My pool up at North Harford. That's where he did his first swimming.
She could have said he's the Jim Bourne of Harford County.
Yeah.
Those old timers who go back to Edgewood High School, Jim Bourne was probably maybe the first outstanding swimmer when swimming started here in Harford County back in the day.
Yes.
I think at one time he owned the 10 of the 12, including diving records.
Yeah. And he owned some of the Division III.
We're going to take just a little bit of a break here, and as they get ready to do some of the other events, and we'll come right back with you in just a minute. Don't go away. Don Morrison and Larry Dukes from Magnolia Middle School. It's the 2022 Harford County Swim Championships, the boys division. We'll be back. We're back with you at Magnolia Middle School. It is the 2022 Boys Swim Championships, and Larry Dukes, this is exciting because, again, we're a little bit in the dark as to which team is leading. Right now we're watching heat number 3 of the 500 yard freestyle. It is the marathon, if you will, of the swimming. I'm told now this is heat 4. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're told that lane 4 is leading. Appreciate that. Yeah, we were just saying this is heat 3 of 4 heats. So just trying to get folks back in contention here where we are. And really, we have this event and then 2 more events, and we're done. Again, because of the way they chose to reorient things, because of the senior night, all the relays are done. So we have this event and then 2 quick ones done, and we'll be done for the night.
Yeah, in lane number 1 is Colin Moses from Aberdeen. He's a senior. Lane 2 is Michael Pomales from Aberdeen. He's a junior. 3 is Jack McNerney from Patterson Mill. 4 is Gabe Ekman from Hartford Tech. 5, Lars Lefkowitz from Aberdeen. And then 6 is Noah Birch from Falston. He's a freshman.
Corey Knopf is the all-time top swimmer in this event, 500-yard freestyle, 20 laps. He established that record back in 2004 at 4:37.05, just to give you some idea. Our top qualifier, it's going to be in the next heat, Colin O'Hare, swam his best time at 5:23.50. So we're talking
significant time.
Almost a minute slower, obviously. And Corey Knopf, we talked about him before, Aberdeen swimmer back in the early 2000s who swam only 1 year in the public school swimming, and just put his mark on the county that is still with us, one of the oldest records still in existence.
Yeah, Corey was a national level swimmer that went on to swim, I believe, at Auburn, and continued in college and at the national level to be a phenomenal. He may have even made Olympic trials one of those years in college. And as they come to the wall, it looks like lane number 2, Michael Pomales, would have been your winner of this heat, or Gabe Ekman. They touched virtually at the same time in lanes 2 and 4. Then in lane 3, it was Jack McNerney from Patterson Mill. So you're 1, 2, 3. Now 4 up in lane number 6. That's Noah Birch, and 5 is Lars Lefkowitz from Aberdeen.
So that is, again, the third of 4 heats. We do it by time. Obviously, that's how it's scored. The top 16, as Larry was explaining to us, get points. So you start with what the number 1 gets. How many points, Larry?
20.
20, and then it goes down there all the way down to the 16th place that gets some points.
Correct.
And we have no idea, but it could come down to that 1 or 2 points that you might get for being in the 14th or 15th place.
Absolutely. All the points, all the swimmers that compete add up and have an effect.
We go now to the final, the 4th heat. Again, the 500-yard freestyle. Liam Van Sickle, Garrett White. Van Sickle is from C. Milton Wright. He's a senior in lane 1. Garrett White is a sophomore from Bel Air in lane 2. The top seed, Colin O'Hare, a freshman from Bel Air, is in lane 3. Luke Bahala is in, C. Milton Wright is in lane 4. He's also a freshman. Another freshman, Christian Wizuski, excuse me. I'll try that one more time. Wizuski, Christian Wizuski from Falston, a freshman. And then in lane 6 is Anthony Durante. He's a sophomore from Bel Air. Again, it is 20 laps. It is the marathon, if you will, of the swim meet.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about the 500 is it's the only event where you have people at the opposite end of the starting blocks of the pool that are allowed to keep counts. You'll see that's a great shot there where you see people with the placards, the lap counters, that they're dropping them in the pool to let the swimmers know what lap we're on. We saw a little bit earlier in the 200, some swimmers got mixed up and had to swim some extra laps there in order to complete the event. Here you're getting a good signal on each of the times you come to that opposite end of where you stand. Having the 3 in the water, we just know that they made the turn for the first 100, so 1/5 of the race is already over. And it also gives the coaches a chance to communicate by moving the placard up and down or sideways. They're letting the swimmer know if they're on the right pace or not. So if it's going up and down, it's letting the swimmer know to pick up the pace. They're going out too fast, you shake it back and forth and say, whoa, wait a minute, horses, let's get on the pace. You'll also see, it's actually fascinating if you can see in the top part of your screen, when we go to that full pool view, you'll see the coaches walking up and down the deck, waving their hands, and because when the swimmers turn to breathe, they can grab a glimpse of the swimmer. You're seeing one coach going up and down every lap as if he was swimming it all the way to the wall, and then he'll turn around and go back up the other end. I actually saw a really funny YouTube video of 500 swimmers in the pool and 8 different coaches doing different things with their hands and the different movements to communicate with their swimmers.
Fascinating, it really is. And again, as you mentioned, Larry, the different strokes and the different distances all give such a variety for some swimmers who are sprinters, who would never get in the pool to swim a 500, and opposite, the 500 swimmers would not have the ability to have that sprint speed to do the sprints.
Yeah, my best story there was a young lady that was a very gifted swimmer that absolutely gave me the devil about swimming anything over a 200. She thought she could only do a 200. And I put her in the 500 at a meet to qualifier for a much bigger meet coming. And she hid in the girls' bathroom and dared me to come in and get her.
And I hope you did not.
I did not.
Good,
I tried to send her mother, and her mother refused to go in and get her. Told me it was my problem.
Yeah.
So
she didn't swim the 500.
She did not swim the 500, and
that's a young lady who knows what she wants and
wasn't going to do anything otherwise. The 500 wasn't in her plans. So we got lane number 3 is your early lead here. That's Colin O'Hare from Bel Air.
Again, a freshman. We talk about these young swimmers that have done so well here tonight, and it offers a great future for these teams.
Yeah, Bel Air right now first and second with those 2 swimmers. Down in lane number 2, it's Garrett White, so he's a sophomore. So as you said, those young swimmers bode well for the future of Bobcat swimming.
Larry, at risk of just misleading people, the information we have as to the leading teams right now, last time I saw we had 174, 172, 171. Bel Air with 174, Patterson Mill 172, C. Milton Wright 171. I hasten to add those scores are misleading because they don't include 2 of the relays.
Correct.
But it does show you how tight the scoring is here for the boys meet. And don't forget, last night, Falston 321, C. Milton Wright 302, Patterson Mill 295. So when you look at the girls' results, that will be combined with the boys' results to give you the overall winner. You can see how pins and needles these coaches are in terms of these last 3 events.
Yeah, the fall will start to lift a bit after the 500 because then we pick up the second relay in the scoring, and so we'll have a better picture of how this is playing out. But the 2 individual events that are left are going to tell whether any one of 4 teams is going to be your boys winner. And the combined winner could be any maybe someone even different than those two, the
And
girls and
let
the
me
boys.
try explaining it, and you correct me when I'm wrong. We have an electronic scoring system that can't adjust the individual events, so that it is still scoring as if the middle relay was done in the middle like it's supposed to be done, and the last relay done at the end like it was supposed to be done.
Right.
Instead, tonight, the meet organizers switched it so they could do senior night. So
Correct.
they had all the 3 relays in the beginning, which is why our overall scoring, we can't give you an accurate accounting until the 500 meet where it was supposed to be is passed.
That's correct, and what it could be different if they had known ahead of time, long enough ahead, that they would have structured the meet that way. But this is the traditional way the meet should be structured, and that's how we had to finish there. Colin O'Hare from Bel Air was your winner, unofficially. Garrett White was second, and Luke Pahala was third from C. Milton Wright.
Just
So
the way I'm sorry, Larry, go ahead.
Just the way it was seeded,
Yep.
right?
Exactly, yeah. Bel Air's freshman 5:23.50 was O'Hare. He ends up being the winner unofficially, giving his team those 20 points. That would be the Bel Air Bobcat team. And then the other points coming for the second and third place finishers, all the way down to the 16th place.
And we're going to be taking that break again and giving the awards for the 100 freestyle and the 500 freestyle. While they make their way to the awards podium, I'll give you the top 8. In 8th place, Ian Sauer, 55.99. 7th was Logan Weaver. Sauer was from Patterson Mill. Logan Weaver from Bel Air, a sophomore, 55.92. Grayson Michelli from Bel Air, 53.97. Noah White in 5th from Hartford Tech, 52.94. At 52.92 for 4th place was Nicholas Masante from C. Milton Wright. He's a junior. And our top 3 finishers, we'll wait till we get a good camera view of them making their way to the awards area.
Deb Bostler, the athletic director for the county, will be presenting those awards momentarily, we hope.
We hope. And while we have a break, lots of volunteers here tonight making this whole thing happen.
Very, very good. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, it takes a village.
Oh.
Yep, here we go. Well, we had her, and
then she's had second thoughts. You see some of the placards still up on the wall. These are for the senior night. Again, can't tell you how much, if you're not familiar with senior night, all the emotions of being your last time, in this case for many of these swimmers who won't go on to the regionals, last time you'll swim competitively perhaps in your life.
Just like many other sports, it ends abruptly. The very last swim, the very last wrestling match, the very last basketball game. For some of these competitively, this is the end of the road.
Just so happy because remember last year they didn't get to swim at all because of COVID. So now if you're a senior who graduated last year, you missed that. And even these seniors tonight get some fans in the stands, which is also exciting for them.
Yeah, the track back to normal, huh?
I'm loving it, yeah. And so happy that Hartford TV folks were allowed to continue televising these events. We talk about those 2 great basketball games that we had this year that came down to the last point. So glad that even though there were no fans in the stands, and now let's watch this.
Yep, this is 3rd place goes to Mason Windle from Patterson Mill. His time, 52.83. And then 2nd place was Shane Ekman from Hartford Tech. His time, 52.21. And your champion, Sean Lipscomb from Patterson Mill, winning time of 50 flat, 50.00. So your top 3 finishers in the 100-yard freestyle.
And there they are getting the pictures taken.
A quick Kodak moment.
I'm loving it, yeah. Something they'll remember for the rest of their lives.
And I guess they wouldn't remember a Kodak moment anyhow.
You know, I was going to let that pass. Get out the Brownie Instamatic. Now we're really going back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Remember the Polaroid camera that you would pull it out and
absolutely, and shake it.
Put the cover on it.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, people out there saying, what are they talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it was such a great invention. You had a picture that you had right away. You took it, and there it was.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest quality, but you did have it.
You did.
Now you have it instantly on your phone.
Oh, it's so.
So, yeah.
I'm just old.
Yep. We both are. But,
2 events left here tonight in this exciting boys meet in the 2022 County Swim Championships. Actually, it's District 7 championships, but the Cecil County schools, 4 of them, are not able to attend here tonight to participate. So the District 7 turns out to be, like the old days, the Harford County champions.
Yeah, I believe they're going to give the awards for the 500 freestyle. We don't have those results yet, so we can't help you there, but momentarily they'll make their way to the podium for those.
Talking about the folks, Sarah Rosner, who is the head coach of the Falston team, was the, I guess, coordinator of this tournament, and she was the one that handed out all the volunteer cards and make sure everything worked smoothly. You just give all the credit in the world to, as you said, these volunteers.
Yeah, Mike Faulkner. Mike's been around for as long as I've been around swimming, over 25 years, and Mike's children have long graduated and moved on, but still, he's the person that puts all the reports and things together to make this meet actually happen.
And speaking of a report,
and we just got
hot off the press.
We'll call it Mike's report. We just got Mike's report. The 500 freestyle results, the top 8. In 8th place, Jack McNerney from Patterson Mill, 6:17.49. Michael Pomales from Aberdeen, 6:10.53. In 6th place, Gabriel Ekman from Hartford Tech, 6:08.21. Christian Wizuski from Falston is 5th, 5:48.04. Liam Van Sickle from C. Milton Wright, 5:42.41. In 3rd place, making his way up to get his medal, Luke Pahala from C. Milton Wright, a freshman, 5:31.79. 2nd place, receiving his medal from Bel Air High School, sophomore Garrett White, 5:24.35. And your 2022 500-yard freestyle champion from Bel Air High School, a freshman with a time of 5:14.90, Colin O'Hare.
And there they are. Larry, I was just looking over, for the last 12 years in a row, not counting last year when there was no swim at all, C. Milton Wright won the overall championship. So they are the 12-time defending overall champions, are the C. Milton Wright Mustangs.
Yeah.
Last year, as we mentioned, the last time they swam, back in 1920, C. Milton Wright won, even though they didn't win the boys or the girls. Patterson Mill had won the boys, Bel Air had won the girls. C. Milton Wright did well enough in each to emerge as the overall winner.
Yeah, talk about dynasties. The dynasty in swimming for the last number of years in Harford County has been C. Milton Wright. Before that, it was Falston.
Yeah, right. Falston had, 4 in a row back from 2004-05 going up to 2007-08. It would have been Falston.
And when I first started coaching, we at John Carroll were in the Harford County League, and we had some, at least on the girls' side, that I remember very strong championships dating back to mid-1990s.
Yep. Looking back to John Carroll won it in 1999, 2000, 97, 98, and then 96, 97. So in 3 of the 4 years, John Carroll had won the overall championship back in that day.
Yeah.
Patterson Mill, the 2-time defending boys champion, and Bel Air is the defending girls champion, going back again to 2019-20. But as we mentioned, Falston High School won the girls championship last night in the girls championship. And as we're speaking, it looks like they're not going to do the awards for the 500 instead.
Nope, they go right to the backstroke.
Yep.
Heat number 1. So we got lane number 1, Aiden Tramontana from Havre de Grace. And 2 is Jackson Peralt from Edgewood. 3 is Scott Jones from Havre de Grace. In 4 is Angel Ruiz Rivera from Aberdeen. And in 5, Lorenzo Howard from Joppatown. I believe we have a scratch up in lane number 1.
No one.
Oh, nope, he's there.
Like
I'm
6
sorry.
is
6 is not there, but there was no swimmer in 6. So
okay.
we've got a full heat here. early lead. In lane number 2, that's Jackson Peralt from Edgewood.
Yeah, it's a 100-yard backstroke of 4 lengths of the pool. Championship time established by Mason Young in 2018 of 50:10. Mason from Hartford Tech. Our top qualifier 54:68. That's in the fastest heat coming up. Cade Snyder from Patterson Mill.
Your swimmers want to have straighter legs than we're seeing right now. Straight legs, and use your hips really to do the kicking. You see swimmers doing more of a bicycle type kick. You're not going to get the speed that you're going to get. You're going to see that later on, that the best swimmers here are not going to have a lot of bicycle kick in their legs. But this heat, we had in lane number 3, I think we had our, and that would have been Scott Jones, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. Scott Jones, who had the 1:42 qualifying time.
So Scott came back at the end just to edge out Jackson Peralt for the heat winner in heat number 1. Heat number 2.
As Larry has said, 16 places count, so it picks up points. So it's very important how you do in these slower heats.
Absolutely. Yep. And
Jaden Stanfield in lane 1 from Patterson Mill. Justin Prees from Haverty Grace lane 2. Ethan Fulmer, sophomore from Bel Air, in lane 3. It's Jason Perndrecka from Aberdeen, a junior, in lane 4. Bryden Cesanero from Hartford Tech is in lane 5. And Fazlidin Umarov, a sophomore from Bel Air, is in lane 6.
Speaking of handing off names.
Yeah, I got in the middle of those and I said, whoa, that's supposed to be Larry's guy. If I messed up your name, I do apologize. Doing the best we can here.
Your early lead out in lane number 4. It's Jason Perndrecka from Aberdeen. He's a junior.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, lane 3, Ethan Fulmer, much easier. Sophomore from Bel Air.
We had a young man in football once whose last name was just impossible to say, so we called him Jack R.
Jack R.
Yeah. And we thought, well, what's the chances? He won't be in. He's in every play. And it was like, no.
I remember also in recent years we had, I think it was a soccer player. We had a name of someone in Hartford County that was like 16 letters long.
Oh, yes.
You remember that?
I do, yes.
And I think she had a sister, too, that was also, so we had plenty of that name for a long time.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, so your finishers here, lane number 3, Ethan Fulmer, and in lane number 4, Jason Perndrecka, in that order. Then down in lane number 2, Justin Priest was 3rd. Okay, I'll take heat number 3.
Okay, heat number 3. I know, yeah, you looked at them. They're easy names. You are a dog.
Lane number 1, Evan Goodell from Hartford Tech. Lane 2 is Todd Orzek from C. Milton Wright. Lane 3, Jeff Sifa from Hartford Tech. Lane 4, Ethan Ryan from Aberdeen. James Cassidy from North Hartford in lane number 5. And Noah Birch from Falston in lane number 6.
Yep. Dennis Cassidy, our director tonight. He's related, I think, to James Cassidy in some shape or form.
Oh, I thought you were going to say David Cassidy or some form. Okay.
No, Dennis is the father of James Cassidy. Dennis, our director, doing his great job as always.
And 2 other wonderful children that I got to coach, which are now, one's in college, and I believe the other is junior in high school. So I remember when they were 6 and unders.
Wow.
So lane number 3 is your leader. That's Jeff Sifa from Hartford Tech.
Bunched up here, there's not a whole lot of difference between these swimmers at this point.
No.
Heat 3 of 5 in the boys 100-yard backstroke.
But what you can see is that they're swimming, their times are looking like they're seated correctly. It's got that view of like a flock of birds. Make that kind of winged view from the top.
Yeah.
The movement into lane number 4, a new leader, Ethan Ryan from Aberdeen, going to come to the wall and touch first. Second is going to be in lane number 2, that Todd Orzek from C. Milton Wright. And third, Jeff Sifa from Hartford Tech in this heat.
So that takes us down to the next to last heat here in the 100-yard backstroke. Elijah Greer from Falston is in lane 1. Zach Orzik from also Falston. Olzik, I'm sorry, Zach. Paul Mullins is a senior from C. Milton Wright in lane 3. Lane 4 is Walker Milstead from Patterson Mill. Patterson Mill also is Andrew Trent. He's in lane 5. And lane 6 is Griffin Hevesy from North Harvard.
Strong start in lane number 4, Walker Milstead. Coach Walker at the Arena Club and his sister, Mackenzie, off to a good start here. The lead. As I said earlier, you're not seeing that big bicycle kick. You don't see knees popping out of the water by 6 inches when you start to get to some of these faster swims. Coming on in lane number 3, that's Paul Mullins from C. Milton Wright. He's a senior. Maybe his last backstroke swim. Right with each other. Final turn. Head back to the finish.
Boy, they are tight at lanes 3 and 4.
Yep, Milstead. Then Mullins. And third place is Olzik.
Might have been Milstead who beat him out, huh?
Yep, Walker Milstead first, Paul Mullins second, Zach Olzik third. It moves right to the final heat.
Boy, it does, yeah. The next to last event we have here tonight, Colin O'Hare in lane 1. Lane 2, Alan Chan. O'Hare, by the way, from Bel Air. C. Milton Wright is Alan Chan. Patterson Mills' Cade Snyder, the top seed at 54.68 coming in. Harper Tech's Gavin Carson in lane 4. Sophomore from Edgewood, Mark Garcia is in lane 5. And Bel Air's junior, Josh Morgan in lane 6. Record again, Mason Young from Harper Tech in 2018 at 50.10. The top qualifier tonight, 54.68. Cade Snyder from Patterson Mill. Underway, 100 yards.
Quick start in lane number 3. That's Cade Snyder from Patterson Mill. Really stretching it out. You can see his legs nice and kicking from the hips and rotation.
Yeah, Snyder comes in with a 4-second advantage in terms of seating time, so it's expected that he would do this, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, there's no slowing down. Makes the turn for the last 25. And he's got a good, solid 2 body length lead. Second place is up in lane number 4. Lane number 4 is Gavin Carson from Hartford Tech. And he comes to the wall, and he finishes in first.
Cade Snyder will take home the gold here tonight. Don't see any disqualification listing there, so it looks like he will be the winner. And that'll give Patterson Mill a much-needed 20 points, depending on how the scoring is coming out. And we should know here shortly, maybe we'll have some indication, Larry, where we are.
And we had Gavin Carson from Hartford Tech second, and Alan Chan from C. Milton Wright was third. So that we'll wait for the official results there. We can give you, though, through the 500, which would include 2 relays of the 3, the scores as they stand right now. Bel Air still with the lead with 211. C. Milton Wright in second with 202. And Patterson Mill in third with 183. Hartford Tech fourth, 176. Falston fifth, 137. North Hartford sixth at 85. Aberdeen 7th with 82. Havre Grace 8th with 63. And 9th is Edgewood with 9. So we'll, after each event now up to that finals, we'll give you an update on the scoring as it comes in.
And if we look at last night, Falston, who's not in contention here with the boys, who won it. C. Milton Wright finished second last night. Right now they're in second place in the boys. And again, if you were trying to make some sort of a projection.
Extrapolate out some
Oh, I
result.
like that
How you
word,
Yeah.
extrapolate.
We're doing some predictive analytics here, huh?
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. I'm thinking C. Milton Wright would be, apparently with one event left,
Yeah.
the team to beat right now.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Extrapolate.
Yeah, and throw in some
like
predictive analytics on top of it. We sound like we're now part of the Orioles team.
No, don't say that. Don't say that. My Orioles are, again, predicted to be
last.
last.
Yeah. The question is, are we going to win more than 50-some games this year?
I would not make any great predictions there.
So we've moved over to breaststroke, our final event, heat number 1.
100-yard breaststroke. Yep.
And I'm out of order, Don. So
I can
you
help
might
you
have
there.
to jump in and do these names.
Simon Murray is in lane 2 from Haverty Grace. Zach Patton from Falston is in lane 3. Marshall Sherman is in lane 4. And Axel Trellini is in lane 5. Trellini from Falston and Sherman from Haverty Grace. This is the last event of the night. Again, the last event was intended to be, or should have been, the boys 400-yard freestyle relay, except for the way it was changed around to allow us to do the senior night effectively tonight.
And your 2 winners for this heat in lane number 4, that was Marshall Sherman, and second was Simon Murray.
Both from Haverty Grace.
Right, and then Zach Patton from Falston was third.
Kyle Paxton is the all-time record holder in Harford County from C. Milton Wright. He established that back in 2012 at 1 minute, 1 second, .21. The leader tonight, Mason Wendell, coming in as a top seed at 107.74.
Heat number 2, in lane number 1 is Anthony Durante from Bel Air. 2 is Will Arminger from North Hartford. 3, Andrew Morgan from Bel Air, freshman. 5 is Jason Moses from Aberdeen. 6, Michael Malia from Haverty Grace. And 7, Alex Newen from Aberdeen. He's a junior. You mentioned Kyle Paxton. Kyle Paxton, I've been in touch with him lately through his father, Tony Paxton. And Kyle, now a graduate from UMBC, had a really strong swimming career at UMBC. A very solid breaststroker. Got very quick in college. And the swimmers that he grew up with stay in touch with each other. It's kind of neat to see that they've become lifelong buddies. A group of about 6 of them stay in touch, and all of them went on to college and swam. So good stuff.
Yeah, and you're talking about Paxton, who graduated in 2012, so he's doing his 10th year out of high school.
Yeah.
Just figured out this is our 60th year, my class out of high school.
Wow.
Not sure how that happened.
Wow. Yeah, Kyle Paxton, I guess he's been out of UMBC, I think, for 2 years now. But because of COVID and extension years and all that kind of stuff that happened in the NCAA, we have athletes that are spending 6 years or more, finishing up, getting graduate degrees, and great opportunities to finish here up in lane number 5. That was Michael Malia first, then Jason Moses second from Aberdeen. Andrew Morgan was third from Bel Air.
Very, very close, that particular race. And it'll bring us up now to heat 3 of 5. Colin Moses from Aberdeen, lane 1. Kyle DiFilippo from North Hartford, he's in lane 2. Evan Schaff from Patterson Mill is in lane 3. Zephaniah Madison from Haverty Grace is in lane 4. Ian Wright, lane 5 from Falston. And Bel Air's Caden Ernest is in lane 6. In a lengthy night here, Larry. I'm looking, it's 9 o'clock. We started just about a little bit before 6, so it's been a lengthy night, mostly because of the senior awards and the different things that sort of modified the way this meet is normally run. Two times up and 2 times back, 4 laps of the pool, the breaststroke.
Early lead, lane number 3.
And that's Evan Schaff, the Patterson Mill swimmer.
He's followed in lane number 4 by Zephaniah Patterson.
This heat 3 of 5 heats.
Oh, one-hand touch by Zephaniah. Didn't get caught, though. Official was looking at a different lane. So life is still good for Zephaniah down in lane number 4. Good thing they don't go to TV replays for,
and
you're not going
to tell them, I'm sure.
No. Let's see if he touches. He touched with 2 that time. That's good. Okay, so your finishers here. It was in lane number 3, Evan Schaff first, Zephaniah Madison second, and in lane number 6, Caden Ernst from Bel Air.
It'll take us up to the 4th of the 5 heats. Nick Spigler from North Hartford in lane 1, Caleb Conkle in lane 2 from Falston. C. Milton Wright freshman Luke Valhalla is in lane 3. Caden Barzakowski is in lane 4 from Hartford Tech. Other Hartford Tech swimmer Alexander Clement in lane 5, and Marco Ambrosisi from Hartford Tech. Although we were told that he's not here tonight.
Yeah, there's no swimmer in lane 6, nor is there a swimmer in lane number 4. So Caden Barzakowski looks like he is a scratch also in lane number 4.
So we only have 4 of the scheduled 6 swimmers in this heat number 4 of 5 heats. Spigler, Conkle, Clement, Barzakowski.
Yeah, it looks like that's how it is. Yes, Bednarski down in lane number 1. Oh, nope, I got that wrong.
Yeah,
Bednarski's in the next heat.
Right.
Yeah, Spigler down in lane number 1, but your leader in lane number 2, at the road, Caleb Conkle from Boston. He's now getting challenged in lane number 3 by Luke Bahala from C. Milton Wright. Bahala, freshman. Our underclassmen are really giving a great show tonight.
Looks like lane 3 is coming in.
It is. It's Bahala first, followed by, in second, Caleb Conkle from Boston. And then up in lane number 5, Alexander Clement from Hartford Tech.
Larry, that takes us to our last event of the night, the last heat of the last event. And this is the boys 100-yard breaststroke. Luke Bedarski from Hartford Tech in lane 1, Michael O'Leary lane 2 from North Hartford, Mason Wendell from Patterson Mill lane 3, the top qualifier, Addison Sweat, junior from C. Milton Wright in lane 4, Grayson Michelli from Bel Air, he's in lane 5, and Jaden Harley from Patterson Mill is in lane 6.
All bunched up at the moment. Lane number 3 with the early, Mason Wendell with the early lead.
Qualifying at 107.74. About 2 seconds, or about a second actually, ahead of the second qualifier, Addison Sweat.
Up in lane number 5, that's Michelli from Bel Air at second.
One more time back down the pool. And this swim event will be over. And then it's just down to figuring up the scores.
Oh, it's going to be close here at the finish. This full pull out. It's still Wendell.
And Michelli.
Sweat in between them. And no one's going to catch Mason Wendell.
Mason Wendell, the Patterson Mill swimmer.
Second, it looks like Addison Sweat may have snuck in there for second place. Grayson Michelli right there for third. So we'll have to really see the final results. They have had a touch out there for second place.
There you see the swimmers congratulating one another. Larry Dukes, so I don't get a chance to say it. Thank you so much for being here with me tonight, for being the expert commentator. It's just been fun having not done swimming last year because of COVID. It's just so good to be back and doing swimming.
Well, I had a ball. It's really fun to do some more work in Hartford County, to see Hartford County swimming continue to, and it's really encouraging to see the younger swimmers here performing so well. It really gives us hope for even faster swims in the future. And coming back and seeing swimming continue to grow.
I'll have to ask Dennis Cassidy how much time we have and how we're going to wrap this up.
Okay, and then I'll give some, while you do that, I'll get some results here for the...
Let me hear that again, Truck. You want us to go down for a moment? We're told because of our time constraints we're going to go down for a moment. We promise we'll come back and get the final scores wrapped up for you, so don't go away. Don Morrison, Larry Dukes from Magnolia Middle School. It is the 2022 Boys Swim Championships. We'll be right back. We're back with you as we're going to see some of the award ceremonies passed out here. Larry, can you recognize who Doug Bosler is giving those awards to?
Yeah, I think this is the Backstroke Awards, I believe.
And in first place with a time of 54.51, Kate Snyder from Patterson.
And in third place, it was Alan Chan from C. Milton Wright with a 1:00:17. Gavin Carson from Hartford Tech was second with a 58:06. And your champion for 2022, 100-yard backstroke, Cade Snyder from Patterson Mill, winning time 54.51. So he'll grab the 20 points. I'll give you the team standings through the backstroke. First place was Patterson Mill, 272. C. Milton Wright was second, 258. Patterson Mill was third at 250. And Hartford Tech and fourth at 239. Your top four schools only separated by 33 points. So then we move over to the breaststroke, and those awards will be given out next.
Hey, Grace and Michael, please get your butt to the pool deck immediately. Thank you.
The awards there. Tell you what, Don, why don't you do those, and I'll see if I can get team scores figured out to the end here.
Well, we have to. So you want to start with 8 and go up?
Sure.
Evan Schaff from Patterson Mill is 8th. Then Luke Pahala from C. Milton Wright is 7th. Luke Benarski is 6th from Hartford Tech. Jaden Harley is 5th from Patterson Mill. Michael O'Leary was 4th from North Hartford. And now we'll see if they'll be coming to the podium. Looks like number 3, that's Grayson Michelli from Delaware High School, 109.71. Patterson Sweat from C. Milton Wright High School, number 2 at 108.35. Mason Wendell from Patterson Mill High School, a 105.06 timing, is number 1, picking up the 20 points. I think I gave you the wrong time for Addison Sweat. It was 106.69, and for Grayson Michelli, 106.90. And there they are. Grayson Michelli, 3rd place, Addison Sweat, 2nd, and Mason Wendell, the champion here in the 100-yard breaststroke at the 2022 Swimming Championships. That our final event of the night, and Larry Dukes is rapidly trying to add up on his Funkin' Wagnalls there, actually pen and paper. The final scores. Let's see if we can get those for you. Now again, we remind you another time, that is that the overall winner is the combined score from last night and tonight. Now we believe, unofficially, this is the boys' score. Patterson Mill at 324, Bel Air at 323, and C. Milton Wright at 321. Hartford Tech at 291. So that would be 1 point separating second and 1 point separating second from third. Yeah, that's pretty close.
Yeah, that would be pretty amazing. And that would most likely tell us that the combined scores.
Well, yeah, C. Milton Wright was second last night at 302.5. So if you add the 321 to their 302.5, Patterson Mill, who had 324, was down at 295. So they were 7 points behind coming in.
That would give a combined score of, what was it, 302 and 321, so 6.
11. Carrier naught. 5, 6. I've got 619 for Patterson Mill.
Okay. And then for Patterson Mill, 619. What was C. Milton Wright?
C. Milton had 302.5 coming in.
And that would make them at 6. They had 302?
302.5.
That would make them 623.
623. So
4 points.
Unofficially,
Yeah.
very unofficially, it looks like the C. Milton Wright Mustangs will return to their overall championship that they had won 12 years in a row. And it looks like that they will, again, unofficially, take the overall championship. So Falston won the girls, Bel Air won the boys, and if our figures are correct, C. Milton Wright will win the overall championship. So as we sort of predicted, it could be a girls winner, a boys winner, and a separate overall winner.
Yeah, and interestingly, it doesn't look like there's any movement on the pool deck.
All right, we're told to wrap it up, and so we will couch this in saying what we're giving you is some very unofficial, quickly tabulated scores on our part, that there was a 1-point difference in the boys' score. We'll give you the final boys' score. Patterson Mill 324, Bel Air 323, C. Milton Wright 321. And again, if our figures are correct, C. Milton Wright will finish with 623, the combined score, compared to 619 for Patterson Mill. So C. Milton Wright would win their 13th straight overall championship, not counting last year when nobody swam. Larry Dukes, want to thank you so much for all you did tonight and putting this thing together and making it sound like we actually knew what we were talking about.
Don had a great time. It was a great swim. So have a great year. We'll see you next year for the next iteration of swim championships here in Harford County.
We certainly hope that, and thank you for tuning in. Thanks to the folks here at Magnolia Middle School, and thanks to the tournament director, Sarah Rosner, and everyone who helped us put this together. Again, from Magnolia Middle School, Don Morrison, Larry Duke saying good night and thank you, everyone.